So the PGF is just like any sports league. We just do it with Jiu-Jitsu. We have a regular season where the athletes are going to be split 20 athletes onto 4 different teams, 5 players per team. Each athlete is going to play 12 times during the course of the week. So they're going to get 12 grappling matches. And the top 8 from the season are going to move into a one-night playoff on Saturday. The playoff is an 8-man single elimination EBI style tournament. How do you become one of the top 8 athletes that makes it into the playoff? You can only acquire points in the PGF by winning via submission. It's a 6-minute match. If you win by kill or choke, you get 6 points. If you win by break or joint lock, you get 3 points. And if you get any submission in under a minute, you get an extra point. If the match goes to a draw, or if you lose, you get 0 points towards the playoff. The top 8 athletes during the regular season roll into the playoff. Why did I create the PGF? Because I wanted to turn Jiu-Jitsu into a real sport.
And we're live with PGF Season 5, presented by Ghost.
So it's starting to get quiet. You can really sense that competition air is like really starting to build.
The PGF has everything that you would expect out of any sports league. Athletic combine, draft, regular season, postseason playoff, we have a fantasy league.
Man, there's a lot to be excited for this season. The PGF gets better every season.
And he gets stabbed! Oh, Gibbs is the winner with the Darce choke!
I'm feeling every different way that there is to feel. I think that we'll look back on this 20 years from now and be like, that's where professional jiu-jitsu started.
What else is there to say? 4 straight days of just nothing but badass grapplers.
The PGF is everything you love about sports, plus jiu-jitsu.
And we're live, ladies and gentlemen, here at the Becoming Church in beautiful Decatur, Alabama. Also known as the River City, Decatur is home to the Professional Grappling Federation, where for the next week, 20 athletes will compete for a spot in the playoffs. We're just about ready to get things started here with PGF Season 5. It's everything you love about sports, plus jiu-jitsu. The road to the PGF regular season starts today as we are live inside 10th Planet Decatur for the PGF Season 5 Combine. Hey everybody, TJ DeSantis along with BMac, and Mccaghren. And BMac, this is a progressive thought process on the sport of jiu-jitsu, but it's really in that sentence, the sport of jiu-jitsu. It's everything you love about sports plus jiu-jitsu. That's the whole concept about PGF. And like I said, it seems that the word sport jiu-jitsu, it kind of has a negative context sometimes with certain people in the grappling space. But I think what you're trying to do is sort of what we said at the top. It's sports plus jiu-jitsu. I've never heard of a combine in fight sports ever before.
Yeah, well, maybe it's a terrible idea, but we're going to do it anyway. So we're here for the PGF Scouting Combine. Tonight, we're going to have the draft, the player draft, and we're going to split these 20 athletes out into 4 teams here in PGF Season 5. We've got Team Epic Roll. We got 2 different teams for toe hold red, toe hold blue, and we got team level. We'll find out tonight at the draft who's going to be on what team. But these managers for the teams are going to have an opportunity now to see these athletes compete in a couple of different competitions, you know, you're going to get to see as a fan who you want on your fantasy. These guys are here to impress.
Right. Now, what you just said is something that's very unique. You said fantasy. Yes, you can have a fantasy team. There's a PGF Fantasy League, which is brought to you by X Marshall. You know, when I think about, like, say, the NFL today, I know people that don't care at all about the NFL, but they get involved with fantasy teams, and
sure.
you know, and that's something that I think is very unique to your concept here. Is, you know, this is an interactive type of league. You can be at home, and you might be wanting to pay attention to the combine today because you're going to get some science and some data to you know, maybe make your educated picks for your own fantasy team.
Yeah, and not only do we have a fantasy league, but it's free to play, and we have a cash prize. So we're going to give away $100 every night. X Marshall is going to do this. They're going to give away $100 to every winner every night. So if you score first on night one, you got $100 cash. They've also got gift cards to give away on each night. So Monday, Tuesday, Thursday.
Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Right, yeah.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We're giving away daily cash prizes, and then the overall winner is going to win $400 in cash.
That's
as well.
unbelievable. That's awesome. Let's talk a little bit about the combine today, because when I think about, you know, the NFL combine and the way that your draft stock can rise and fall, it comes down to metrics. We have obviously different areas that you're going to test our athletes today. Why don't you tell me what we can expect here from the combine?
So we're going to test 5 different, let's just say, attributes.
Right.
Okay, we're going to look at grip strength, and we just got a very simple thing. We're going to measure how hard you can actually grip. That matters, and it can especially matter in no-gi when it can be so slippery, right? We're going to test reaction speed, and we've got a game for them to play. Basically, it's like whack-a-mole. We're going to measure how fast they can get through the light reaction pods over there. It's called blaze pods. We're going to test braking mechanics, and we've got a robot. A Jiu-Jitsu robot,
yeah,
not a grappling gun.
Right.
This thing is not a dummy. It measures their squeezing power, and also all of the joints on the robot they articulate like a real joint. And so we're going to be able to see these athletes' braking mechanics. They're going to get one chance on the braking mechanics for each of the different subs. And then we're going to also test explosive power. How far can you throw this medicine ball? And then we're going to test grappling awareness, which is going to be one round of catch and release jiu-jitsu. So they're going to take a couple of the alternates from the season, the guys that are kind of sitting on the sideline waiting to see if there's an injury, if they're going to get plugged in. They're getting plugged in right away on the scouting combine. So they're basically going to play uke. It's not going to be a grappling match, but we want to just see, how does this athlete actually move on the mat? You know, what kind of setups do they have confidence in? Let me just see your best, most impressive moves. Show us what you look like when you're grappling.
And the coaches are obviously going to be here present today looking at all of this information, and it's going to go a long way in helping them decide who they want on their team. Again, the draft is coming up later tonight at 6 p.m. Central Time. We can see some of the athletes here. I mean, this is exciting for me. What should fans, you know, at home expect to sort of take away from this experience? Because this is unlike any other combat sports experience I've ever, you know, had before.
Well, what's the coolest thing about the PGF is it allows us an opportunity to develop storylines for the athletes. You know, you come in on a one-night tournament, or even worse, just a one-match super fight. Like, unless you really follow the sport, you're not going to know very much about these athletes and who they've faced before. What we get to do with a one-night tournament like EBI or Combat Jiu-Jitsu, which we're going to be doing in December again.
That's right.
What we get to do with a tournament like that is we get to see a guy's one-night progression. So you get a built-in storyline for one night. We're going to get that for a whole week. The athletes are going to play 3 matches a night. They're going to get 12 matches throughout the course of the week. The top 8 are going to qualify for the playoff. Just that alone is built-in storyline. And what that does is it offers us an opportunity to fall in love with the underdogs.
Right.
Because we get to see them come out and have some big – maybe they come out and they lay an egg on night one.
It's possible.
It's not over, though.
Right.
You know, or maybe your favorite athlete comes out and has an upset loss on night one. It's not over. We're looking for the top 8. We're going to crown a regular season champion. We're going to crown a team champion for the season. And then we're going to crown a playoff champion, the ultimate PGF Season 5 champion.
I think about that. Obviously, when the draft hits tonight, you know, people are going to look at it on paper and look at those first 8 athletes, those first 8 players drafted, and they're going to be like, okay, is this technically, the favorites for potentially the playoff? But obviously you progress through the season, you accumulate points. Like, I can't imagine what the chip on the shoulder of the last guy picked is going to be like.
Oh, man, we've had that before. Evan DeWitt famously in one of the previous seasons, black belt, but he was the last pick. And he was so salty. He was so salty. He's still salty about it. I'm sure he's watching right now. He's a great friend of the PGF. But, yeah, that's definitely going to happen. We're going to see some guys. The draft tonight is going to be an auction-style draft. So the draft order was determined with the mock draft that the PGF insiders put on just a couple of weeks or a week ago, I guess. And we got the draft order determined. What's going to happen is the athlete is going to come up. I'm giving each of the managers a salary that they can spend. And so when the athlete comes up, they're going to bid on the athlete.
That's interesting.
And the athlete's going to go to the highest bidder. So it's not a traditional draft. It's an auction draft this year.
That's a very unfamiliar concept to me. That's very interesting.
It's more like a fantasy league kind of draft.
Yeah.
So players going to go to the highest bidder. The teams can, they can go past the salary that I gave the full team.
Okay.
But they're going to have to dig into their own pocket to do it. So I gave them their salary cap, basically their luxury taxes that they got to bring it out of their own pocket.
There you go. I mean, I like the idea of that because, there's value there, and that value is going to be determined on an open market, which is very interesting. This is going to be exciting.
Yeah, it should be cool, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're interested in joining the Fantasy League, it's free to play, cash prizes, www.pgfhome.com. You can hit that QR code that's on your screen right there. That'll take you right to it. You can play on the Fantasizer app, or you can play right there on your desktop, which is what I recommend. But
this is progressive. We got QR codes. We got a grappling robot, the rollbot. Like, it's like I'm on the Jetsons right now, B-Mac. I'm gonna fly to my hotel later in my flying car or something.
Yeah, and you know what else we got? We got a live chat going right here on YouTube. Everything's free on YouTube this week except the finale, which you can buy at pgfhome.com. It'll be on the Fight Scout app. But we got this chat going over here. And every time that somebody pops off with a super chat, which is like the way to donate through YouTube to the live streamer, if you'll tag the athlete that you want to receive that money, then we're going to give that money directly to the athlete. So just another way to support your favorite athlete or the athlete that you fall in love with this week.
Absolutely. You can literally show your support and put some money down, which is, what this is all about. At the end of the day, this is the PGF. It's the Professional Grappling League. And for the longest time, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu has been a sport that you have to pay to compete in. And, no one's going to walk out of here with, 6-figure paydays or anything like that. But the bottom line is every athlete that is stepping foot on the mat can be made worth their while, whether it's being drafted high or even the spectators at home, coming in and putting their money where their mouth is, support with not only just your involvement, but you can put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah. And, you don't have to, but it's available.
It's appreciated
it's
by
available,
all.
And I know the athletes are going to appreciate it, because a lot of these guys are young, blue and purple belts. Some of these guys are very experienced black and brown belts. Some of these guys are national level competitors, but some of them are just cracking in to the competition scene. And so, or not the competition scene, but kind of the next level of competition. And, in the beginning, it's always been, there's no way for a guy like that to make money in jiu-jitsu.
I'm just saying, if I'm
have that for the PGF.
If I'm in the fantasy league and I need a guy to come through for me, I might put some money down just to put it in the air. You know what I mean? Like, give this guy $20 because I need him to come through for me.
Yeah, and if you don't want to do it in the super chat, you can see on the screen there we got Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App QR codes. You can hit that. Just put the athlete that you're putting the money towards in there, and we'll make sure that they get it.
This is pretty exciting. I'm not going to lie. This is unlike.
I'm super glad you're here, man.
I'm very happy to be here. Alabama is something that I've never experienced before. BMAC in Alabama with the PGF, man. It's going to be fun. We appreciate you watching. It all starts today. This is like really an interactive event in the sense that, like, obviously you can participate in the chat, but it's something that you can literally watch all week long. This isn't like just a 1 or 2 hour type of thing. You can, if I was at home watching BMAC, this is going to get me through my work week.
Yeah, it's March Madness basically
right.
for jiu-jitsu. Though.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of a word that works with October, but I don't know any adjectives that start with O.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm fresh out.
Awesome October? No, that's an A. Yeah.
PGF.
Those are letters too. TJ DeSantis along with Brandon Mccaghren. Appreciate you joining us as we are getting ready for our scouting combine. And give me the rough schedule of the week if you don't mind. You got
Okay, sure. So right now we're going to do the scouting combine, obviously. Draft is going down at 6 p.m. tonight. So players are going to go to the team tonight. We'll know all of that. All that'll allow us to then finalize the schedule, and all of that will be posted. You'll be able to see who's going to be playing who and at what time each night. The first matches, we like to call them games.
Right.
These are players in games. First game, Monday, 4 p.m. And every night, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, the matches are going to be free here on YouTube at 4 p.m. Probably going to last, we're probably looking at like a 5-hour event each night. So a lot of jiu-jitsu. And then Friday, everybody's got the day off. Saturday, the playoffs and the finale at 4 p.m.
That's huge.
We got a quintet tournament on the finale as well.
All right.
So
it's exciting
should be
business.
fun. Got
Yeah.
the ladies championship.
Dang.
Woman bracket for the PGF women's champion. Kaya Jackson going to be defending her belt. This time, though, at 115 pounds.
Okay. All right.
So
there's a lot going on right now.
125 pounds.
You had to
sorry.
think about
Last
that.
time, I had the weights messed up. Last time was 135 pounds. She won the belt for that. This one's 125 pounds.
Are the answers to all the hard questions up there? Because you always look up and to the right.
That's where I got to go retrieve them, right there.
All right. Perfect. I like it. All right.
I think we're ready to crack off.
Yeah.
I think we're getting pretty close. I'll give you the order that we're gonna take the athletes up in for each event, and I'll give you the weights where everybody came in as well. Elijah Carlton came in 188 pounds, which was our limit. Our scale was just a little bit heavy, and so we gave him a little bit of grace, and we came in at 188 pounds for Elijah. Matt Elkins will not be here for the combine today. Fedor Nikolov, 188 pounds. Fedor coming out of 10th Planet headquarters in downtown LA with Eddie. He's a destroyer. Cam Hurd coming out of Virginia. He weighed in at 188 pounds. Josh Gibbs, 185.5. If you're a PGF fan, you know that name. Full-time Gibbs. Kamoy, back, season 2 veteran. He's coming in at 188 pounds. Sawyer Griffin was on the regular roster. He's not going to be on the roster. Had a last-second replacement. Sawyer is out. Luke Church is in his spot, and Luke weighed in at 188 pounds. Anakin McMahan coming to us from Colorado, 187. Buddha McClure from Georgia, 187. Moose Fritz, he's not going to be here today. He had a delayed flight, but he will be here in time for the draft, but he's coming out of Long Beach, California. Jacob Lamar, 188. Handsome Kevin Sherrill, PGF favorite, 188. Landon Tourville, qualifier winner, 188 pounds. Matt DeWeese, 178. And now check this out. The Rock Troll, superstar from last season of the PGF, coming way up in weight. He's under at 167 pounds. But a lot of people think that he's going to make some noise this season. And I think they're right. I think he's going to be a really pleasant surprise for whichever team he shows up on. 167, though. We call him the Rock Troll. Nick Kraton, the Minnesota Maniac, 184. Paul Barry, 187. Sam Schwarz, 188. Travis Thomas, 192. He's got till 1 p.m. to hit that weight, though. He's feeling pretty confident. Doesn't look drawn out.
Right.
So I think he was just planning on coming and hitting the combine first and then hitting the weight. So 192. And again, Luke Church is in for Sawyer Griffin. So there we go.
There we go. The stage is set for the PGF Scouting Combine, again, draft tonight at 6 p.m. local time. Before we get things kicked off officially and make some new history for PGF with Season 5, let's take a look at some of the old things you need to know and take a look at PGF history prior to today's events.
Here's a brief look at the history of the PGF. In Season 1, the bad guy, Elijah Carlton, was the first athlete to go undefeated through the entire season. PGF veteran Matt Elkins also made a name for himself with his high-level wrestling and choke-heavy style. However, nobody broke out quite like the Elbow Genie. Season 1 ended with Elijah Carlton claiming the first ever PGF title. Season 2 was highly anticipated with new athletes ready to make their mark in the PGF history books. However, it was Hunter Colvin that shined, proving that he was the bad guy's kryptonite. In Season 3, the fans gave us Battle Rama, where Josh Gibbs claimed the title of Best Alternate. In the playoffs, David Evers shocked the world by winning it all and claiming his brown belt in the process. In Season 4, it was time for the ladies to take the PGF mat. There, Nakia Jackson became the first women's PGF champion. Shortly following, Reese Lefevre laid claim to the 155-pound PGF championship. Now, Season 5 brings us new athletes, all with their eyes set on claiming the 185-pound title. Will the newcomers prove themselves? Or will the veterans reign supreme? And who will it be that decides the next chapter in the PGF history books?
Did you know that the human foot has its own intelligence? Does it surprise you that your foot has thousands of neurons that can sense shape, texture, temperature, and even density? Did you know that most, if not all, your knee, hip, back, and even neck problems originate in the feet? Those questions may seem a strange thing to obsess over when making something as simple as flip-flops. But those questions are not strange when your goal is to make the most durable, high-quality flip-flops on planet Earth. Because at Toehold, we believe your foot can also feel quality. And that's why at Toehold, we make our flip-flops the old-fashioned way. By hand, from scratch, with a master craftsman using the best ingredients we can find. Durability is our guarantee, and style is our passion. Come try a pair of our luxury flip-flops on, and let us know what you think. Because at Toehold, we're positive you're gonna love it.
People are using psilocybin in what they call microdosing. And kickboxers are using it, and a good buddy of mine is using it, who says that he can see things happen before they happen. Like, it's almost like he's reading people's minds.
These things let you step out of your box a little bit. They let you step out of your usual reference frame. They let the background come forward, and you notice things about the environment that normally you would suppress.
I have done it many times, but I enjoy it a lot. It gives you a silly, carefree consciousness that is unperturbed, meaning that it doesn't affect my judgment, it doesn't affect my ability to have a conversation with someone. It just puts me in this very appreciative, thankful, low anxiety state.
Matt's side at the PGF Scouting Combine. We are about ready to get things kicked off with our grip strength activity, but got a little activity I need your help on.
Okay.
We're going to throw it to our announcer here. Bobby, both of them?
No, not both. Both.
Both.
Both of them. Both of them.
Bobby, both of them. Stephen Aiken. Okay, we'll go to him now here to get our combine underway.
Ready to get started with our first event on the grip strength, and I'm going to hold that. First up, we got Nick Kraton. It's the right hand.
So here we are looking at the grip strength meter. Is this measured in pounds per square inch?
109 pounds.
109.
109?
0.0.
Now, this type of strength I think about and how it actually applies to grappling and fighting. And, without the gi, you're going to have to, put that lockdown on, wrists and legs and all sorts of things like that. So this is a pretty important stat, I would think, for a grappler to obviously possess.
Grip strength, super important to grappling. Super important. Yep.
Up next, Church.
We're just calling him Church. This is Luke Church. He trains here at 10th Planet Decatur.
Up, give us a good hammer down, hard as you can.
And he's a purple belt.
Nice. 111.8.
111.8.
Okay.
What are you pulling down on this thing, B-Mac?
Like 16.
16?
Yeah.
1600?
No,
okay.
no, about maybe 17.
All right.
Good day. All right, so Luke measures in a little bit higher than the Minnesota Maniac.
Our next contestant is Buddha. Choose either hand.
All right, this is Buddha McClure. Buddha weighed in at 183.
100.8. 100.8.
Okay. So Buddha coming in third so far on that one.
Just Jacob.
Keep going through here as we test the grip strength of our players.
Our next contestant is Jacob.
All right, this is Jacob Lamar. Jacob's a black belt. He's out of the Tuscaloosa, Alabama area.
What's the number to beat right now, B-Mac?
Number to beat right now is 111.8. That's Luke Church.
Hammer.
I believe I saw an
82.6.
Yeah.
I think it slipped. We're staying with us. Next up, we're going to have Carson Thigpen. You can choose either hand. Give it a good hard grip. All right. 82.8.
All right, man. Carson coming out of RGA, Henzo Gracie in Nashville. Kid's a dangerous.
Next up,
dangerous.
Landon.
I think about grip strength, and Minotaur Nogueira was said to have the best grip strength in mixed martial arts. And that was on display
109.6 for Landon.
when he fought Fedor. Fedor Emelianenko, not the Fedor in our grappling
Next up,
here.
Paul.
But he had such good grip strength on Fedor's wrist that Fedor would hit him, and Nogueira would never lose grip.
Look at this.
Oh, you
Paul
winning, though.
Bari.
That's it.
He hit up
Is
to
that-
120 at one point.
Ooh, new leader. Paul Bari, 120.8.
And I believe that Paul's a former semi-pro soccer player, so he's an actual athlete.
Sport, you're not even allowed to use hands.
Yeah, sport. We don't even allow that sport in Alabama, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's from Florida.
It's a weird rule.
Yeah, Florida's basically Yankees. They're
Next up, Matthew Deweese. Give us a good hard one.
Oh, he's going with the reinforce my own forearm technique.
Mandible claw. There you go. We'll take it. 117.8.
Dang. That's another. Both those boys
Very
coming out of
nice.
10th Planet Jacksonville.
The Rock Troll. What you got here, man?
We're simultaneously learning who has the
I
hardest.
bet the Rock Troll is going to
Some of that power.
crap out of this thing.
I mean, if your nickname's the Rock Troll.
Okay. Good. 114.0.
Nice.
Look,
Not bad.
smallest competitor by
Cam
quite a
Hurd.
lot, but squeeze.
Lefty. He's
grip.
going lefty. Our first
Like
lefty.
Right up there. He's in third right now.
I wonder, I mean, we'd be here all day if we did both hands, but I wonder what the
112.
non-dominant hand and the dominant hand, the difference is generally between these athletes.
Next up, Travis Thomas.
All right, this kid here, he might be one of the biggest dark horses for the season.
Bad guy saying some stuff. 143.8.
143.8?
That's a featherweight.
Jeez.
It's like a whole person.
Yeah, wow. That's
All
impressive.
right, Mr. Full-Time. No
I'm
big
not
deal.
shaking his hand.
Yeah, I don't.
You want to try this now?
He'll give you that
All right, let's
church
see what you got.
handshake, boy.
Fist bump in.
110.8.
2, 1,
All right, Anakin, what you got, sir? Whenever you're ready. 100.6.
I do like seeing the athletes come up with that technique on the fly.
It's the back-
You're reinforcing that
Jabroni.
forearm.
The jabroni grip. We got. Oh, one hand, sir. One hand.
I'd go for two if I can get away
Is
with
that
that.
21? Oh, 112.2 for the jabroni.
Okay.
Is the jabroni a positive?
The tax man, Mr. Dave. What you got?
Oh, okay.
All right, this is David Cooper. David's one of our other alternates. And he'll be.
That's it. You got it. 95.
95, all right.
Slip it.
David's from Birmingham.
Next up, Fedor.
Oh, I'm interested to see this. He's going to put that Russian squeeze on it, dog.
Nice. 105 for Fedor.
All right.
Sam. $118.0 for Sam.
Strong.
Last competitor, but definitely not the least handsome. Mr. Kevin Sherrill.
Did he wink at the camera?
That's it. Just waiting for this moment.
I need to know.
Let's see it up. Oh. Let's see. 82.2.
82.
Those delicate hands.
There we go, B-Mac.
And did Kamoy then opted not to participate?
Next.
It looks like.
Interesting.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so Kamoy did not participate.
Oh, where's he at?
All right, so let's look down through the list here.
All right, give me the lowest and give me the highest.
All right, let's start with lowest.
Right.
And let's start by, we don't want to make fun.
No, dude. All these guys can beat me up.
But we kind of want to make fun.
You can make fun. I don't want to get beat
We
up.
want to do it a little bit.
It's B-Mac.
The chat probably wants to make fun. All right.
Oh, look at
Let's
this.
see. 82.2. Handsome Kevin is the lowest.
All right. So we're looking at the top three right now. Travis Thomas came in at 143.8, which, I mean, that's huge numbers. Paul at 120.8, and then Sam bringing up the top three at 118. Help me out here. We're getting this data and information. Grip strength, obviously, just one of the attributes that all of the players will be measured upon today. Where would you put this up there as an important attribute for these gentlemen?
I mean, it's just a piece of the puzzle.
Right.
It's just a piece of the athletic puzzle. So really what we're just trying to do is try to get a couple of measurements that we feel like could have some kind of telling information about them as an athlete as it pertains to grappling.
Well, when you grapple with someone,
we're not running a 40. You know what I'm saying?
When you grapple with someone, how aware of their grip strength are you? Is that something you notice right away?
Immediately. Like Eddie Cummings was just always so famous for, he would latch on to that 2-on-1.
Right.
And you just couldn't get your arm back. And a lot of that is technique, but a lot of that is grip strength as well. And, man, Travis showing just real quickly, just through something simple like this, why he might be the dark horse to come in and win this thing. He's only been training for 2 years, TJ.
2 years.
Purple belt.
Wow.
But he's an unbelievable technician, and obviously with the strongest grip of everybody in the PGF.
Yeah, and this is a competitive space, so everyone is probably thinking about their own number, going, okay, was that good enough? Do I need to really show out in this next skill set? Because no one wants to be bringing up the rear on multiple categories.
And that's an interesting little thing about the PGF. There's more time for you to get into your own head. There's more time for gamesmanship.
Right.
There's more time for you to get in everybody else's head.
Yeah.
And every little result starts to add up over the course of the week, not just in your point standing, but in your mind.
Yeah.
And how you feel about yourself compared to the rest of the athletes. And we've seen very good black belts come in and not be able to make the playoff because it stacks up on you. It's a gauntlet. It's also, there's an endurance factor to the PGF that you don't really have in other competitions.
Yeah, and that's the one thing I really like about this too. You have the team element, you have the individual element of trying to make the playoff, and like you said, it's not a sprint. I mean, you might have the best match of your life, but at the end of the day, if it doesn't get you into the playoff, it's just the best match of your life, and it stops and it starts and stops right there. So, this is exciting. I like this. I like this so far, and anybody bringing up the rear in multiple events, you got to worry about BMAC making fun of you too.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think they're getting the reaction speed up and running and ready to go back there. I see Keelan is back there with Bobby, both of them.
So this next stat is something that you'll see in traditional stick and ball sports. I'm not an athlete by any means, BMAC, but I do play the NBA 2K game, and this next drill is literally in the NBA 2K game when you create a player and try to like build them up to being an NBA star. Reaction time is incredibly important. But what about in grappling? Like, what do you think reaction speed actually translates to in grappling?
Well, how quickly you can make happen what you want to make happen on the fly. You know, as an opponent is making decisions and making plays on you, you got to be able to turn around and cut that gap quickly.
How much is this a mental exercise as much as it is physical?
Yeah, you know, it's going to be an interesting stat just to measure what kind of athlete they are, what kind of hand-eye coordination they have. How much direct translation is there? You know, maybe not that much. But it's going to be an interesting stat to have on the player.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, like, I think about fast twitch type of situations. You know, like when someone feints a shot, what's your ability to, you know, make that decision? Do I sprawl? How fast can I sprawl?
Or somebody reaches to your head, what's your ability to reach in and counter that quickly when you're on the feet? So they're going to be doing it from their feet back here. And oh, here we go. This is another look at the categories here. We're going to hit reaction speed. We've already got grip strength behind us. Braking mechanics will be the third one. Then we're going to explosive power with the medicine ball throw. And then grappling awareness. 1 round of catch and release with an uke.
And again, our leaders from the first exercise with grip strength are top 3. The scouting combine is going to continue now as we move over to the reaction speed. Blaze pods they're called, right?
Blaze pods, that's right.
All right. Let's go.
Hey Jiu-Jitsu fans, don't just watch PGF Season 5, play the Fantasy League, only on Fantasizer. If you win first place, you could win $1,000. Download the Fantasizer app and get started today.
Our scouting combine continues here inside of 10th Planet Decatur. It is now time to measure reaction speed, and we go back to Bobby, both of them. How's that?
That was good.
Okay.
All right.
Steve,
I'm here with Nick Kraton. We're here for our reaction time test. All right, we're going to get Nick lined up on the line. As soon as this first light is hit, that's when his timer will start. He's got to hit 52 lights.
52 lights. Talking to Keelan earlier, he said the average time between 35 and 40 seconds would be what you could expect from most of our athletes. This is like the ultimate...
They died.
Oh, no!
He killed it. He killed it.
Well, no, that was
52.
not 52. I heard Lindsay say, was that 52?
That's like the owl at the measuring the Tootsie Pop. 1, 2, 52. No.
Steven's trying to fix it, but I think, oh, there it goes. Did he turn it off on accident, maybe?
I don't know.
All right, well, we gotta start the game over now.
Okay, now we're cruising. Oh, dang. You know, we're gathering information here, and first bit of information is maybe this is a hard way to test reactions.
Oh, yeah. We should have just put a whack-a-mole game out there.
Right. Yeah. Just go to the local Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, dude, we should have just put a whack-a-mole game out there. I think we might just move them on down to the medicine ball. Maybe we'll come back around to that one.
We're learning.
Yeah.
We're learning.
Hey, throw it to a commercial, Keelan, and let's throw them to the medicine ball. Let's skip.
This is brought to you by the Goat Strip, the #1 sublingual male enhancement strip in the world, and the only true flash dissolve strip on the market.
It's a goat.
Huge news. I've partnered with the Vulcan Fight League, or the VFL. It's a crypto-based strategy MMA fighting game. These guys are tied in with some pretty big events and even with some pretty big names in the fight world. Mighty Mouse, Ryan Hall, Brandon McMahan. Right now I'm working really closely with the development team. We're building my character. So you're gonna be able to take your custom character, bring him over to Brandon, teach him jiu-jitsu, and then go beat everybody up. Now listen, the coolest part about this game is that it's play to earn. You can win actual money and crypto rewards for playing the game. There's a lot of progress to follow as we get close to releasing this thing. You need to go on Twitter, follow Vulcan Forged. You need to go over and check out their gaming platform, and you need to make sure that you join their Discord group. I gotta be honest with you guys. I'm really excited about this. Not just because I get to be in a video game, which is cool, but I get to be in a fighting video game, and I get to be involved in this new coming world of crypto gaming, which I think is gonna end up being a pretty big deal. So I'm interested to hear what you guys think.
Here we are back here inside 10th Planet Decatur, home to the PGF Season 5 Scouting Combine. We just tried to run the players through the reaction test, and pretty quickly we found out that wasn't going to work the way we wanted to. So we are going to move on to the next category, which is explosive power. We're going to ask our players to throw a medicine ball as far as they can, measure the distance, and that should translate to explosive power. So let's move on over there. We go back to B-Mac's not here now. I'm just going to say Stephen Aiken.
All right, we're here with Nick. After some technical difficulties, we're going to switch to our medicine ball throw. He cannot cross the wooden line, and it's going to be to where the ball lands. All right, Nick, whenever you're ready.
All right.
The shoes.
First player to throw this medicine ball.
I'll be interested to see, like, everybody's going to have a different technique. Ooh.
That's impressive. So are we going where it ends or where it
So Michael's going to mark it.
Okay.
Michael's going to mark it, and then Lindsay's going to come with the statistic there, the measurement on how far it actually went.
Now, looking at that first bit of technique, that was the overhead throw. Is that how you would throw it? Would you try to get lower and maybe do like a basketball shot?
Yeah, I would kind of like.
Next up, Maximus Jolly.
Hip?
Yeah, like that.
Okay. Like that one, maybe.
Okay.
All right, let's see what Max got.
Max kind of threw it across his body almost. I wonder if that's the best sort of technique. And I think we're going to see 20 attempts here and probably 20 different takes.
I want to know what the numbers were on the first two. Hold them. What were the numbers on the first two? Hey, I want to hear the numbers each time. What was the first number? And who was our first athlete? Was
Nick Kraton.
Nick, and he went 19 feet 7 inches.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. There we go. 19, 7. And then how? Oh, he's got it already. Okay, great. Just making sure we get this recorded correctly.
All right, now we have Carson Thigpen.
My official statistician's on top of it, the egghead. Oh, he goes underhanded.
Man, that one.
Sounded like
it's no good.
We
Step
got
on the mat.
Bobby, both of them calling him a default.
So we're gonna have
We got a default.
Do it again. Man.
The commissioner's gonna be benevolent here and give him one more chance.
Bobby, both of them doesn't play. That one, the second attempt might actually have gone further.
It's a more better throw.
Mo better.
Wow. All right. So far, the underhand throw is making some impact here. We'll see if the rest of the players borrow from that.
1 second. Okay.
How heavy is that medicine ball?
I think it's 15 pounds.
15 pounds. Which doesn't sound like a lot until you try to throw something that's 15
Oh, no,
pounds.
he can't throw it backward. He can't throw it overhead like that.
Oh, he can't do that?
That just sounds
Commissioners
dangerous.
come in. Sorry. I told him he could do that because I didn't know he couldn't. That was on me. All right, Lyndon. Not bad.
Yeah, I think the danger of throwing it from that side across your body is actually getting it to go straight. It kind of veers off a little bit when you try to have that turn with it. But
All right. Lindsay said she's having some problems with the measurement.
trying to get an accurate number here so all of the coaches can.
Here, I'll
just measure from right here.
All right, B-Mac's on the case here.
Oh, just a second, Cam.
Again, we are measuring explosive movement here, explosive power. 15-pound medicine ball getting thrown as far as the athlete can from the edge of the mat and measuring to where it initially hits, not to where it rolls to. Oh, B-Mac's taking his shoes off. He means business. Again, I'm TJ DeSantis. Appreciate you joining us live here from the PGF Season 5 Scouting Combine. Again, our draft headed your way later tonight at 6 p.m. local time. It all leads up to the PGF regular season. Of course, our playoff and championship finale coming up on Saturday. You can buy that pay-per-view at pgfhome.com. So far, here's the top three for explosive power. Buddha coming in at number 1 with 39 feet. Maximus at 24.6. And Nick C at 19.7.
Well, Buddha hasn't gone, so that was actually Carson Thigpen. But we got a faulty reading on a couple of the scores there, so a couple of those guys are going to circle back through.
Gotcha.
Okay, we're back again with Cam Hurd. Cam?
So, well,
there's a throw there.
All right, now Lindsay is going to hit this measurement each time.
So next time we're going to have to put out like 10 feet, like yard lines, if you will. You know what I mean? We're learning.
All right.
What was that one?
24.6.
24.6.
I believe Carson's going to have to go again.
All right, Travis, yeah, you're going to be at this split. Travis Thomas.
Going hood up is Travis Thomas. Big
That's
throw.
what I'm. See, look.
That was a big
throw. This is an athlete, man. This guy's an athlete.
You know, that one had a sort of a straighter arc to it. It wasn't a rainbow by any means.
Yeah,
It was,
he wasn't like trying to sling it across his body like that. I think that's a much better method.
Watch the measurement.
$31.1. Wow, that's huge.
Nice.
All right, our next competitor is going to be Buddha.
Oh, yo, I rolled with Buddha yesterday at open mat. He's strong.
I kind of want to throw the medicine ball later, B-Mac.
You want to throw it?
I do, yeah. Kind of want to.
What do you think? You can get 16 feet, maybe?
I was going to shoot for 10, but
Good job, good job.
you never know.
Church. What you got today, sir?
Big throw there.
Hey,
a lot
big
of
church coming in off the bench.
A lot of arc on that there. You know those 23andMe tests? You know, you spit in the vial, it tells you all about your genetics.
Yeah.
I did that, and it said that I have the muscle fiber of a powerlifting type of athlete. So that's why I'm curious about something like explosive power. I might be better than you think, B-Mac.
All right, Anakin,
I'm just gonna
you're
have
up next.
to trust you.
Thank you.
Let's go.
Oh,
Williams'
Anakin
point was a
goes
little
with the
low,
underhand
but that's
throw.
all right. Anakin.
What was the mindset in not allowing them to throw backwards? Is that easier?
Yeah, you're gonna be able to get further like that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I just figured it'd be more of a rainbow toss that way.
Yeah. I hear you. Well, you know what? Maybe they throw it up there and hit the.
That's
the
true.
rafters,
True.
too.
Can't really
But
control
not
it.
likely. Yeah.
All right, Mr. Full-Time, you do this kind of stuff all
What
the
was
time,
that one,
throwing
Egg?
balls around and stuff, right?
That was 21.5.
See what you got here. They're going to measure from that crack, okay?
I just want to try to beat one of the athletes, B-Mac.
Gibbs.
Personally.
Nice.
Full time.
Just kind of armed it, but I think
We
it
call him
went far.
full time
Yeah.
Josh Gibbs.
Full time?
Yeah, that's full time.
He's not Josh Gibbs part time?
Pretty good.
He's full time. He's Josh Gibbs?
Yep, full time Josh Gibbs. He was part time. Now he's full time.
Okay.
25.1 for full-time.
25.1.
All right.
Again, testing explosive power.
Turn whenever you're ready, sir.
Explosive movement.
Oh, Coop, he's going to sling it across the body like that.
Watch out!
Oh, he almost killed somebody.
Roll it back. Roll
I
that
think
back.
we just tested reaction speed on the side of the
another
net.
chance.
Yeah, that was the real reaction
Yeah.
speed test. Dang.
I think
Coop, we're going to change that technique
Try
up
to give
top.
him one more shot here.
I think
Oh,
that's
he's going with like the
same thing. Kind of
oh,
like
man.
a shot put.
There we go. Boom.
overcorrected back the other direction.
Yeah, I think that's the risk you run when you turn your body almost 180 degrees and try to come back. The release point is very important.
I mean, I feel like the push is
see,
the most successful.
That's what I would think.
23.9.
I would almost get down in like a catcher stance. You know what I
Jacob
mean?
Lamar
but then
up
you risk
next.
kind of coming forward and falling on the mat, which you're not allowed to do.
It's about the same, probably.
So that's Jacob Lamar, black belt out of Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, this is an interesting sort of drill because, obviously there's a technical aspect to it, and if you've never done it before,
24.7.
it's going to be hard to sort of give it your best go when you've never really.
We're going to give Maximus a redo here because the measurement was a little bit off during his first attempt, we think. So we're going to go one more shot for him here.
Carson also needs to go again.
Ready?
Dang, he had a lot of spin on it.
Yeah, I wonder how much that has to do with how far it goes. This is interesting. Also curious now as Fedor edges to the mat here, how much
Next,
height
Fedor.
in your ability to
Whenever you're ready, sir.
utilize the movement in your body if you are a taller guy.
Oh, Fedor tried to kill Michael.
I saw that.
You love to see it.
Very
You love
good,
to see
very
it.
good. Hold on, Matthew, 1 second. 21.4 for our last athlete. Up next, Matthew DeWeese. Whenever you're ready, sir.
Oh, he's going full granny shot. Life's full of choices, TJ.
A little slippery.
Yeah.
Life's full of choices.
Some better than others.
Yeah, that was one of them. That was a choice. Okay, now, Paul had the second strongest grip strength.
Keelan's a savage.
Did he give him the...
Yeah, yeah.
18
I
point.
think Paul, he's going underhanded too.
Yeah.
Next up, Paul Bari.
I think he should push it. Michael
Believe in it.
Michael wants to get hit with this ball.
He does.
For all the grannies around the world.
See, I like that one because it had a forward spin pattern on it. Maybe it wasn't up in the air long enough.
I think that's a poor choice. I think Paul could throw that thing forever if he would boom push it like that.
See, I'd be in like a catcher stance coming up using the legs. You know what I mean? I'm way overconfident in my skill with this BMAC.
I think so, yeah. I think that's true. Oh, they got a fault on Paul, so he's got to go again.
It's what we call a do-over.
Okay. It's like 3 steps back. All right, Paul's going to go again. The cone was picked up.
He's switching his technique. He got the default on the first one. I think this is smart.
Get a bit of a leg kick there.
Yeah,
oh,
dude,
wow, that was much better.
Better.
Goodness.
Let's see what this one is.
28.4 for Paul Bari.
So
next up, Sam Schwarz. Is that right? I said it right. That was a good throw.
Luke Church in the lead right now, 33.5. Out ahead of Travis, 31.1. And then it looks like Paul Bari right here at 28.4.
Use your legs, too.
Carson has got a scratch. He's got to redo it. It was
24.4. Next up, we got the Jabroni. Strong.
Oh, man, Elijah.
Strong.
I'm surprised that Elijah is participating in the combine. I thought that he would. I remember one year for the combine, of course, Elijah has been the star of the PGF throughout the first 4 seasons.
27.6.
Pretty good for
We're going to have another rethrow here for Carson Thigpen. We think maybe there's some measuring issues. I just want to see you do it again, really.
That was good. That was a good throw.
Carson, a college athlete as well, a college baseball player. And then I think Nick Kraton's getting
31.1.
Ooh, tied with Travis.
And Nick said he saw everybody else get a couple of chances. He's going to try again, too. And he fouled.
Oh,
foul.
Run it again. One more. He can take one more. Last one for Nick here.
There you go. That was nice job.
There we go.
You want another shot? Sure. We're just giving away free chances over here.
That's okay. So Luke Church is in the lead, 33.5. Then Travis Thomas and Carson Thigpen, 31.1.
Again, measuring explosive power here.
All right, Cam Hurd back up again. He wants to get a redo.
Okay. Cam is a beast.
I think the opportunity to have a little strategy time. These guys are getting better throws.
Again, I think it's a technique that if you've never done before, that first time you do it, it's like, oh, I can utilize that little bit of information to readjust.
I think you feel like you're going to be able to underhand it pretty well, but it's not really.
Last athletes, Matthew DeWeese. Let's see what happens here.
We'll measure that last throw here, and I think that'll be it for the explosive power drills.
So let's compare the explosive power and the grip strength top 3. Travis, so we've got Travis, Paul, Sam.
Yep.
And then Travis is the common denominator there. He's in the top 3 in both of the categories so far.
29.7 on that last throw.
All right.
What's the number that sort of separates the average throw to the above average throw?
It looks like probably 25.
25.
Based on what we saw out there.
Got it.
So 25. Nick Kraton, 25.6. Fedor, 21.4. I really think a lot of that, interesting, Elijah, 27.6, not just a technician, but a lot of explosive power as well. I think a lot of that is due to the techniques that they chose to use. But then they had a chance to come back and do it again also. So a couple of guys got higher scores their second time. Man, see, this is why I think a combine is so interesting. Paul Barry, to me, Paul Barry's moving up the charts. 28.4. He scored very well on that one.
And what was his grip strength?
He was number 2, I think, on the grip strength. Yeah, 120.8.
So the stock is ticking upwards right now.
Yeah, the stock is ticking up for a guy like Paul and a guy like Travis. These are blue and purple belts.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so that gives you a better idea of who you're going to take in these middle. You know, you're probably not going to put them ahead of an Elijah or a Fedor or a Minnesota Maniac, for example.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to, if you're one of the coaches that isn't that familiar with most of these athletes, this is going to help you move. You're going to want them up your board.
Right.
You know, so very interesting.
All
very
right.
Interesting.
What do we got up next, B-Mac?
I think we're going to go hit a commercial break real quick.
All right.
Is that correct, Keelan?
Finding out right now.
Keelan, we're going to hit a commercial break right here.
All right.
And then we'll come back.
We'll go to break. Live from 10th Planet here in Decatur, Alabama. This is the PGF Season 5 Grappling Tournament Combine, and it rolls on here live.
Why we believe the cells coming from the umbilical cord are optimal to use, and why for 8 years it's what we stick with, it's what we stay with. And the first thing is, when you're using embryonic cells, you're killing a life to get those cells, right? And so you're ending something that is going to be a human being. It's not something we could ever be part of. The science world, it doesn't, many people just stay stuck. In the medical world, it's like hairstyles, right? People keep the same hairstyle that they had when they met their spouse, and 30 years later, they still got that 80s hairstyle or the 90s hairstyle. And not realizing that there's maybe better out there. And so in the medical world, people don't understand that that is where a lot of docs get stuck, or scientists get stuck. We now know today that the most effective cell that produces the most amount of change, that makes the most of themselves the fastest, is the cells that come from the umbilical cord after the baby's been born.
In nature, there is one primary way to satiate hunger, one way to survive, one way to grow, one way to thrive. There is one way to live. This is through the cleansing power of competition.
PGF Season 5 finale is going down November the 4th, live on pay-per-view, or get your tickets to attend in person at pgfhome.com.
Here we are back inside 10th Planet Decatur for the PGF Season 5 Scouting Combine. And we have some QR codes here for you to put your money where your mouth is a little bit and support our athletes. Tell us how this works out, B-Mac.
Yeah, so you can either donate directly through the Super Chat, leave the athlete's name when you leave the Super Chat there on YouTube, and we'll put it straight towards the athlete. Money doesn't even come here. We pump it straight to the athlete. Same thing here with the Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App QR codes you see. Drop the athlete's name, hit those. We'll make sure that the athletes get these. And they'll tell on us if we don't give it to them, trust me.
Absolutely. So they appreciate it, as do we. So feel free to help out. The Scouting Combine continues here. Coming up next, we move to, is it braking mechanics?
Braking mechanics, yeah. We're going to go to the Rollbot. So rollbotbjj.com, they sent us this awesome, I want to say grappling dummy. It's not a dummy, though.
It's too smart to be a dummy.
Robot.
Right?
It's not a dummy. So this thing is super, super interesting. All the joints are articulated correctly, so you actually have to go through proper braking mechanics to get brakes on the knee, the ankle, the elbow, the shoulder. It's fantastic. Even wrist locks. It even has wrist locks.
Really?
But also it has measurements like pressure sensors on the exact place where the carotid arteries are. And it's going to give us feedback on 3 levels. So you can get like a gym tap, and it'll give us a certain audio reaction. You can flatline it, and it'll give us a different audio reaction. Or you can hit it with great technique, and it's going to give you a fatality. I think we got those numbers. Yeah, here we go.
We do.
The tap is 12 PSI, so if you're getting 12 PSI, you get that first level. Flatline, 24 PSI, and fatality, 48 PSI. So the thing, we've been playing with this a lot here at the gym the last couple of days since we got it. You have to do it right. It's a great, accurate measurement. Me, a couple of my black belts, my wife, Scaff, Travis, we were all sitting in here and playing around with it earlier in the week, and you could tell who's good at what chokes. So my best chokes, I was able to get fatality on it right away, but like my chokes, like a north-south choke, I'm terrible at a north-south choke. I could barely even get it to register. Scaff, his best choke, north-south, he gets up, boom, fatalities right away. So very interesting, a pretty accurate, maybe not an accurate measurement of who can squeeze the hardest, but of what are you good at this movement.
Yeah.
We're going to know pretty quick.
No, that's awesome.
I think a lot of these guys are going to be surprised.
And that's one thing we should note. You haven't let any of the athletes try it out. This will be the first time that they are getting on the robot.
That's right. And they only get one shot at it. We told them we don't necessarily want to see explosive, quick movements. We want to see your actual braking mechanics. We want to see you go slow through this movement, and can the braking mechanics that you have actually translate and make it happen. I think we're getting ready for our first athlete now.
All right, let's go back to Stephen Aiken for our next activity here at the PGF Combine.
Is inside heel hook, and our first competitor is Travis Thomas.
Oh, we got a super chat too.
That sounded disgusting.
Yeah, that was nasty.
Now, this is a bit of a subjective measurement here. The coaches that are watching.
Yeah, they're just going to grade them 1 through 10 on what they thought.
Good. He's back together. Nick.
So we're really not going to keep official stats. No. I want to do it this way. Yeah. You want to shift it and do it a different way?
I think it was already broken.
Yeah, you got to pop it back in place every time, Steven.
Yeah, I didn't.
Hey,
Lindsay,
take him. Yeah, let's bring Travis back up. Keelan wants all the athletes to go do everything every time instead of what we were talking about. I told him that's my bad.
I thought so too.
I told him. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
My
wife outside to fix it. Little PT on this dummy. Don't worry. This bot.
Okay, so
you got to make him.
They're going to go through each one.
So now we're going outside heel hook.
Make sure you get a good look at this outside heel hook here. It needs to be on the other side right there so we can really see. And look at that. Oh, disgusting.
What does it feel like when you are?
It feels like a limb breaking. Dude.
Really?
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Next up is your arm bar.
And so they got to do it a specific way on this
The
arm
specific
bar.
arm bar that we showed with the 2 hands
Yeah, I
on the
want you to
chest.
show them right here. Make sure that they get it right. Got a good super chat from Wallow J here. $50 to the athlete with the best. All right, so that's a good full extension.
Okay, and
but
then
it
next up
didn't
is
dislocate the elbow.
the rear naked. I got to get his brain turned on really quick here.
And so here we'll actually see a measurement. We'll be able to see in pounds per square inch what the robot is actually registering.
This guy says.
Oh my God!
That was quick.
Instant fatality.
That was very quick.
Immediate arm triangle now.
I can tell you this one is way harder because you got to get the shoulder in just the right position. Okay, so he got the flat line on that one.
Right,
So
got a
that's
flat
like a
line on that
level
one.
2.
Now, leg triangle, you can either go from mount, your back, however you prefer.
Oh, he lost contact. And he flatlines the triangle choke. So you see, as soon as he had the rear naked choke,
Yep.
boom,
That's
as
it
soon
for
as
him,
he
right?
touched it.
Right.
Oh, you get one choice if you have another one that you would like to show.
Oh, he's going for the twister.
Nice. Very good, sir. Very good. All right. All the
Super.
limbs back operational.
Yeah.
I wish the human body worked that way. You could just snap everything back
I'll tell
into
you,
place.
mine does not work that way.
No, it
TJ.
doesn't.
Mine
No.
definitely does not. So that was super interesting. The fatality and a couple of flat lines. And so Nick Kraton, a disgusting leg lock game. Oh, he got the knee completely, dude. That was all through the knee. Oh my God.
It's kind of fun.
And you can see the difference in.
Give us 1 second, sir. Let you get set up too.
All right, and here's his outside heel hook, the Minnesota Maniac, going with the DOA position. Oh, so gross.
See, at first it was like a satisfying sound to me, and now I have a stomach ache.
I know it almost makes you feel like it's like it's an actual person. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was talking to someone about the robot recently, and they were convinced that it wasn't actually
Armbar
just
next, correct?
a grappling
Okay.
dummy. They thought it was someone in
2
like
hands up.
a suit who was just going to get up and walk away.
Well, that'd be tough if it was a guy in a suit.
Well, this guy can't walk anymore, I don't think. If that was the case.
He got a nasty pop on that elbow.
Okay, going for your rear naked choke.
This is so cool, dude.
I mean, it looks like it's literally in the future. Like you said that in a video that you posted, PMac, and like, how much more futuristic can grappling get? Fatality there.
So he gets the
Killed him
fatality.
dead.
And now this is very interesting,
Now your
TJ.
leg
Right here in the
triangle.
super chat, Mr. Dank
his arm
Toad
first.
said, "No, I'm rethinking my
Leg
lineup
first, then
now
arm.
after watching some of these heel hooks."
Interesting.
So he's thinking about that fantasy lineup. So that's why we're putting the combine in, so that you can kind of get an idea
Yes,
a little bit more about what you're working
worst
with on
kind.
some of these
But he's tough,
athletes
though.
that you haven't seen yet.
So when you get it set up, that's what you got.
All right, so he's setting up the triangle off his back, turns the corner. Flatlined it.
Got the kill, and he broke his leg. Does that count for more points? Break his leg and choke him?
Yeah, that should be more.
Now arm triangle.
So now arm triangle.
So he gets the level 1 on the arm
He
triangle.
got the tap.
That's the level 1.
Now he gets the submission choice.
Let's see what he's going to go with. Ooh, he's going with a anaconda choke. I saw Scaff flatline this one instantly the other day with his anaconda. Flatline.
He's dead.
So he's able to flatline.
Beautiful. Beautiful works. All right, that was Nicholas Kraton.
Okay, so he went fatality on his rear naked, flatline on his triangle, and he only got the tap, the regular, we call that a gym tap.
Gym tap.
That's a gym tap. He got the gym tap on his arm triangle. All right, so who's coming up here? Is this Buddha? Okay, Buddha McClure coming up. Let's see what his inside heel hook mechanics look like. So, dude, now you see, you can see a big difference in the braking mechanics on that inside heel hook between what he just did and what Kraton did. Kraton's was completely on the knee, and Buddha's was almost exclusively on the ankle there. And now he's going to go to the outside heel hook. He's going to reverse grip it. And again, big twist. I think he did get that knee, though.
I'm going to go for your arm bar.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Ooh, wow.
Nasty.
That was the best arm bar so far for sure, sound-wise.
Disgusting arm lock just then.
That was cool.
And it's interesting, man, to see the difference in what each athlete is actually, like, what their specialty
Absolutely.
is.
Because, I mean, that would be the thing that you would start to question the robot's ability to measure it if it was the same sort of result across the board, but you're getting different results in different positions. Fatality there.
Quick fatality on the rear naked choke. Now you got your leg triangle. It could be mounted or from your back.
And we got a big super chat over here. The Mantis, Travis Thomas, picking up $99.99.
Dang.
In the super chat from a big fan out there. Shout out to Darko X.
Nice. Flatlined him with his leg triangle from mount. Arm triangle.
Flatline.
You got the flat line on this one as well.
See what he goes with for his choice here. Oh, is he going for the punch choke? Oh! Wow. Instant fatality on the punch choke.
No way.
Dang. What do you got to say about that, Dream?
No way. This bot is broken. Everybody knows that's not a real move. Who's next? We got Mr. Church.
That one touched
Inside
my heart in a
heel hook.
special place. I'm a punch choke lover. All right, here comes Church. Church in off the sidelines.
Just his foot.
I didn't really get a good look at that shot.
Break that one first.
He was kind of off with the camera a little bit. Oh. Yeah, we're getting Steven's mic feeding back into us as he was adjusting the thing.
Oh.
Nasty. Oh.
Leg triangle.
So what are we gonna wait, what are we gonna consider that one on that rear naked choke? It was rearing up towards the second one, the flat line. Okay, fatality. They're calling it fatality.
Fatality.
Oh,
wow.
That's the first triangle fatality
Slept him.
so far. Luke Church, purple belt out of 10th Planet Decatur, coming in with that triangle choke specialty.
Got the flat line.
Flatlined it. So Stephen, let's let these athletes know: do not let go of those squeezes until you clear him off of there, because that could have messed him up right there. He kind of let go of that early, but he ended up getting 2 fatalities. He's the first guy to get the fatality on a triangle choke, so he got 2 fatalities, and Buddha got 2 fatalities with his specialty punch choke. So that's super interesting.
We roll on from inside 10th Planet Decatur. It is the PGF Season 5 Combine. Again, measuring braking mechanics.
Max, what are you doing, son? Max, the rock troll is a handful, kids. I'm telling you, this kid is a handful. Here goes rock troll. Okay, he goes belly down. So he really emphasized going belly down with his mechanic. I think what we've seen is that Kraton so far has by far the best inside heel hook mechanic by a long shot. Rock Troll, the smallest competitor in the PGF this season, just 167 pounds.
Oh,
violent.
Wow.
Right back in place. Look at Stevens, a pro. Arm lock, yes.
Oof.
No, you can't take it. You're not allowed to take it across your hip, Max. You got to go straight back with it. So we know that any of these guys are going to be able to break it if they take it across their hip. Max really emphasizing the explosion, which is great and everything. We get to see that he's a super explosive athlete, but that's not really what we're wanting to see on these
Fatality.
on these joint locks. We want to see
Leg triangle.
I want to see him go through the cleanest part of their braking mechanic.
Right.
Rock troll. Oh, fatality on his triangle choke.
Arm triangle. Flatlined him.
Mr. Dank Todd says, Dank Toad, hope you don't have to return this roll bot. It's ours to keep. I told him we were going to do everything we could to break it. So he's going with a Japanese necktie? Oh!
Fatality.
Wow. Straight fatality on the Japanese necktie.
Oh.
Very nicely done.
And the smallest competitor, first guy to hit 3 fatalities. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, this should be horrifying here. Fedor, scary. Okay, so he rips through. Got to put it back in place. Put it back in place. There you go. If you don't reset it every time, you're not going to get good read on it. So he's going with like a reaping position, which is interesting. Oh my God! Could you imagine that happening to your leg?
No. No. Like, I'm not kidding, B-Mac. I think I need some ibuprofen from just watching people break the robot.
All right, Fedor's arm lock.
Broken.
Dang. He snapped it right off.
That was quick.
He's the first guy that's taken the time to lock the body triangle here as well. Oh, he lets go early.
Leg triangle.
But that was going to be a fatality. He was headed towards sorry, not fatality.
Flatline.
Towards flatline on that one. So that's the interesting. He's the first guy that hasn't fatality first attempt on the rear naked choke. Let's see what his triangle's like. Flatline.
Flatline.
Okay, he's going with like a neck crank style, but you can see by the colors lighting up there.
He tapped.
So he tapped like a. So he gets the first
Stop
level.
the match.
And I think that was because he was adding that neck crank pressure with that reinforcing arm. Oh, he's going with the Kimura as his. Oh my God! Oh Jesus!
I think he just had a fatality on the Kimura. Jeez. Here, hold this.
The Kimura is doesn't pop,
right?
But it'll go. I mean, you could just almost
around the
spin
world,
it all
yeah.
around the world.
Ugh.
Okay, so he wanted to show off his Kimura. Now that was super interesting. So Fedor goes. Let me see here. Goes flatline, tap. No fatalities.
That is interesting.
Super interesting. I would have guessed fatality. But very, very interesting. I think the technique he chose on that arm triangle limited his ability to get the fatality. Oh, here comes Handsome Kev. And he'll take the inside heel hook first. It goes one hand. Pops that knee right out of joint.
Touch the shin. There you go.
And now he's going to go to the outside heel hook. I want to get a good look at these. Oh, disgusting with that arm.
We're going to allow that angle?
It looked like it was okay to me.
I'll allow it.
Here's the RNC. Oh,
fatality.
Nice. Didn't hit that insta fatality, but he did get the squeezing pressure up enough to cause it to fatality. Let's see what his triangle choke looks like. Flatline.
What a handsome triangle.
It was a handsome one, yeah.
Arm triangle.
And man, you can see all the other athletes are watching very intently. Flatline.
Flatlined him.
And then he'll get a sub of his choice.
Power bomb.
right, so he used his guillotine. Now, I will tell you that just in my experience with it, it's hard to make even if you've got a guillotine that attacks the carotids, it's hard to make this thing really sound off on a guillotine choke. So, but I have seen somebody fatality it with a guillotine.
With a guillotine?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it can be done. I was not able to do it.
What's your move of choice if you had your submission of choice on it?
The triangle choke.
Yeah.
Yeah. Triangle choke and punch choke. Darce. But I've seen pretty much all of the chokes that you can think of. I've seen somebody hit fatality on it.
Really?
So it's definitely
possible.
Yeah. It just really just shows like the difference in the
Cam
finesse of
Hurd.
the techniques. Like who's
Inside
got what.
heel hook.
Let's hold him right here. Don't go
Pause.
yet. I want this man in position so I can see everything. Let's don't rush through him. Hold him until we got the shot every time. All right. Yep. Ooh, nasty.
What's hard for me is the robot looks like he's about to tap. He's got that hand, you know? It's like, man, glutton for punishment.
Oh, he's got going with an interesting leg position here. Got a nasty break on that.
Hold on one second, Cam. Alex, are you where you need to be?
Yeah, I don't want him taking it over the hip. Don't take it over the hip. You keep the hand here. Keep the hand here. There. That gives you a good idea right there of what Cam Hurd is capable of. Cam wrestled D1 at Virginia Tech.
Wow.
And then he trains with Matt Wallstrom, who is going to be the coach for Epic Roll this year. Ooh, instant fatality. Pretty much as soon as he touched it.
Yeah.
Dang, Cam's scary.
Apparently.
What just happened?
All right, so Cam going to the triangle choke. And he gets the fatality.
Got the flat line.
Oh, sorry, the flat line.
Arm triangle.
What powers the robot, B-Mac? Is it like a rechargeable battery?
Yeah, it recharges. It plugs into the wall. Let's see what this arm triangle looks like. Oh, he ends up with the fatality on the arm triangle.
That's it. He chooses to take a break. He don't. You don't have to. Do you want to?
He's going to go with the Kimura as well. Oh, step it. Oh, my God.
Just broke everything.
Oh, my God.
That's not good.
Elbow basically comes off the robot. Right. The way he stepped all the way around on it like that. Oh, dislocated the elbow and the shoulder and my soul.
Have you named your robot yet?
I named him Squidge.
Squidge?
Yeah.
Okay.
Me and my daughter. We named him Squidge.
I like it.
You know, it's fine. All right, who's coming up next? Jacob Lamar. Jacob, local black belt out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Trains at Cobra down there. All right. And here comes his inside heel hook. Oh, couple of nasty pops on that inside heel hook. Moves to the outside. good on his arm lock. All right, this is the one that we get excited about here. Flat line.
Got the flat line.
Okay.
Leg triangle.
Flat line on the triangle.
Flat line.
And flat line.
Got the flat line.
Let's see what technique he's going to choose. He's going guillotine. It's going to be hard to make that guillotine happen. So he does get the tap with the guillotine choke. Honestly, I mean, I can't do better than that myself.
Really?
So, yeah, I haven't been able to get it going anywhere. His neck popped out of place. That's awesome.
That'll get a tap. When your neck pops out of place, yeah.
It could potentially, yeah.
Where are we at? Are we about halfway through the competitors here?
Yeah, a little over halfway through, looks like. And here comes, okay, now Carson, hold right here, Steven. Carson has got some of the nastiest heel hooks you're ever going to see. He's getting into a position here for his inside heel hook. Look how he takes the time to get the good wrap. Oh, all through the knee right there. That one was nasty. Oh, man. He's got super clean mechanics, man. Nasty. Arm lock. Got good break dislocation on the elbow with his arm lock. Bo in the chat said, has anybody ever gotten a fatality with the arm triangle? And yeah, Cam Hurd got a fatality on his arm triangle, it looks like. And I feel like Buddha also got a fatality somewhere. Oh, no, he wasn't an arm triangle, though. But yes, it's definitely possible to fatality the arm triangle. Flatline's the regular triangle.
Flat line.
Okay, and then he gets one of his choice.
If you're going to break his leg, you might have to fix it.
Oh, he's going with some kind of funky toe hold.
That's disgusting.
Disgusting.
Thank you, Carson.
What do you think, TJ?
I think I'm happy I'm not that robot.
Do you feel like this is really like are you gaining information just as you're seeing most of these athletes for the very first time?
Yeah.
You feel like you're gaining information about the athletes?
Absolutely.
As well,
I think we're learning a lot about their choking mechanics, and to get a fatality, especially when you're on the back instantly, that's impressive. We've seen fatality from a couple other spots, and I'm curious how the athletes themselves will react, because obviously everyone wants to go out there and register a fatality, but it's difficult to do so, and you're gonna have to respond and not overthink your mechanics if you don't get exactly the desired result.
Here comes Landon Tourville, and I don't know if I heard a pop right there. I would like to hear that that mic on the mat right there. Gets a nasty turn, but you can definitely see a difference in braking mechanics.
Oh, yeah.
On a lot of these heel hooks, especially. I think especially the outside heel hook. Most people, and then right there, so you didn't really get that same dislocation on that arm bar. Ooh, landed with the quick fatality on the rear naked choke. This is Landon Tourville here. Landon won the PGF qualifier in Nashville. Ooh, struggling with the triangle.
Arm triangle.
Oh, that's super interesting. Did not get a finish on the triangle at all. Just not in the right spot to hit the carotid artery. And he gets to the flat line, on the arm triangle, but he started out, he was just moving towards that gym tap, and he made the adjustment. Let's see what he's going to go with for his submission of choice. Oh, he's going to try to buggy choke it. Of course he is. That's how you know he's a blue belt. He does flatline it with the buggy choke.
Just made every blue belt in the world just so excited right now.
He does flatline it with his buggy choke. So that's interesting. So he's the first guy to miss any of the fatalities or any of the chokes.
Yeah.
He missed on his, well, I guess we had a guillotine miss on the athlete's choice.
Right.
But he had the miss
triangle.
On his actual triangle. That was one of the required submissions. So that's very interesting.
Do you think that'll matter to the coaches?
I do think so, man. I think it's going to matter to the coaches. I think it's going to matter to the people who are choosing for the fantasy. Because, Landon's one of the unknowns. So, yeah. I think they're going to factor that in for sure. Here comes Paul Barry. And he got a quick turn on that knee. It popped out real quick. Moving over to the outside heel hook. You can see just interesting differences in the braking mechanics of a lot of these athletes. Here comes the arm lock.
And we're going to take a brief pause here as we've got a camera malfunction.
smoke.
Did you know that the human foot has its own intelligence? Does it surprise you that your foot has thousands of neurons that can sense shape, texture, temperature, and even density? Did you know that most, if not all, your knee, hip, back, and even neck problems originate in the feet? Those questions may seem a strange thing to obsess over when making something as simple as flip-flops. But those questions are not strange when your goal is to make the most durable, high-quality flip-flops on planet Earth. Because at Toehold, we believe your foot can also feel quality. And that's why at Toehold, we make our flip-flops the old-fashioned way. By hand, from scratch, with a master craftsman using the best ingredients we can find. Durability is our guarantee, and style is our passion. Come try a pair of our luxury flip-flops on, and let us know what you think. Because at Toehold,
people are using psilocybin in what they call microdosing. And kickboxers are using it, and a good buddy of mine is using it, who says that he can see things happen before they happen. Like, it was almost like he's reading people's minds.
These things let you step out of your box a little bit. They let you step out of your usual reference frame. They let the background come forward. And you notice things about the environment that normally you would suppress.
I have done it many times, but I enjoy it a lot. It gives you a silly, carefree consciousness that is unperturbed, meaning that it doesn't affect my judgment, it doesn't affect my ability to have a conversation with someone. It just puts me in this very appreciative, thankful, low anxiety state.
There we go. The PGF Scouting Combine is brought to you by New Hope Regeneration. New Hope Regeneration specializes in helping fighters safely and naturally regenerate tissue, fight inflammation, and restore bodies so they can heal faster, fight harder, and compete for longer. Our robot does not need any of that to keep going, thankfully.
Yeah.
Because he would need all the regeneration help if he were a real person. But no, he's a robot. Not a grappling dummy, though, right?
Right,
Too smart
not a
for that.
grappling dummy, too smart for that. Let's kick back over to Paul Barry. We had a little interruption in the action here, but we're going to start off with his arm lock, and we're ready
Okay,
when
Paul,
you guys
back
are.
with you with your arm bar.
Paul comes to us out of 10th Planet, Jacksonville, Florida. He's a blue belt, former semi-pro soccer player. There he goes.
You're naked.
Got a little bit of a dislocation on the elbow. And now let's see what this rear naked choke does.
Hold on one second. Let our cameraman get in his shape.
Ooh, very quick.
Fatality.
Go ahead.
And he's going to go mounted with his triangle.
Flat line arm triangle.
Flat line.
Flat line. Any choice?
I don't know.
opts for the Japanese
flat
necktie.
line.
He gets the flat line. Now, Max went to the Japanese necktie, and he got the fatality on
That's
that.
right.
So, interesting difference. They both go with the Japanese necktie as their submission of choice, and Max gets the kill.
It's got to be pretty satisfying to know that you have that instant fatality, or you can have fatality, especially from like a unorthodox choke position, like a Japanese necktie. Not something you see every day.
Not something you see every day. Maybe something we should see more often, though. And here comes Matt DeWeese. Matt DeWeese is also a blue belt, also out of 10th Planet, Jacksonville, Florida. Oh, nasty. That was a bad
Take
one.
1 second here. Hold on.
Multiple pops, it sounded like, yeah.
Oh, the camera's going nuts. Camera's going nuts. He's getting. I think he had to make an adjustment there with the gimbal.
Just hang out.
All right. Technical issues happen on live television.
Well, yeah, you know. It's a work in progress.
Right, yeah.
We're making it happen. Not quite yet. Okay, they're ready. That's his outside heel hook mechanic there. Oh, got a big lift on that fulcrum for the arm lock.
Nicely done with the fatality.
This has been an interesting one. Some people have been able to make it hit the fatality. A lot of people just hit the flat line, though.
Flat line. Come over here, Alex. Anything you want to do?
Now we go to the submission of choice. And a split.
He's going to. Oh, that looks terrible.
Very nice.
That looked like the worst day of your life, dude.
Yeah, ow.
Goes with the banana split for his submission specialty.
Wow.
All right, we're closing in on the end of this thing here. We got Elijah, Josh Gibbs. Kamoy is not going to be participating. Got Anakin McMahan and Sam Schwarz still in front of us. Matt Elkins, Kamoy.
Who's this? The jabroni?
Moose Fritz. None of these guys are participating in the combine. Combine
Hold
was
on 1
optional.
second, Elijah.
And now we get the PGF legend. Let's see the braking mechanics on this inside heel.
Go.
Oh my God, you can just see the knee ripping on that.
Outside.
And you can see, how he's putting his hand on the back of the knee. He wants more bend in the knee. Oh man, you could just see just a high level of skill in his braking mechanics on both of those heel hooks. It'll give you a taste of why Elijah is so dangerous. So we're already seeing a difference in him and most of these athletes. takes the time to lock the body triangle. And that's interesting. You can see that heavy squeeze.
Flat line.
And you could see how hard he was squeezing,
Yeah.
how hard he was working. You can see
Leg
that
triangle.
beautiful blonde hair just shaking in the wind. But only able to get the flat line. One of the only guys to not fatality the RNC, actually. Very interesting. Flat line again on
Flat
his
line.
triangle.
Arm triangle, yes, sir.
Oh,
nicely done.
But he does fatality the arm triangle. That's super interesting.
Yeah.
That's super interesting. He didn't hit the fatality on the one that most everybody did, which is the rear naked choke. But he does hit the fatality on one pretty much nobody has hit,
That's right.
which is the arm triangle. And he's going with a shoulder lock. Oh my gosh, from a rear triangle. That was an interesting submission choice. Like,
Yeah.
it's very interesting that if that's what he chose. So that was very fascinating. The difference in the rear naked choke
Right.
versus Elijah's rear naked choke versus everybody else's,
Mhm.
and his arm triangle versus everybody else.
Yeah.
Opposite results of pretty much the entire field.
I mean, it shows you that all the athletes here have, different specialties,
Yeah.
and that's on display here with the robot.
And here goes Sam Schwarz now. Purple belt out of 10th Planet, Los Angeles, training directly under Eddie Bravo. Oh my gosh. Just violates the robot with an inside heel hook. Oh, and he goes full reap. And that's interesting. Both of Eddie's guys chose to go with that full reap for their outside heel hook. They laced up the figure 4 on the inside.
Oh, that's such a sweet sound.
Good arm lock technique. Okay, this will be interesting. Sam wrestled his way through college as well. Boom.
Fatality. You got it. Now your leg triangle.
So that was going to be a flat line. He did let go of it a little bit early, but we'll score that as a flat line. Oh!
Wow.
Insta fatality on his arm triangle.
Nicely done.
Man. And now it looks like he's going to go knee bar for his. Yeah, he's got to put everything back in place. Oh, he's going to go Z-lock. Oh, he's going to that lateral knee bar. Just dislocates the whole thing. Oh, awful. Awful. So he gets the instant tap on his arm triangle.
Yeah, it was impressive.
And his rear naked choke. Both of them, just as soon as he touched, they were out of there.
So what are you learning here throughout the scouting combine?
I think it's been very interesting. I feel like a couple of these athletes have worked their way sort of up the draft board, so to speak, in the eyes of some of these managers that are here watching, and probably in the eyes of the fantasy. I'd really like to hear from the chat, actually. What do you guys think? Has the scouting combine so far made a difference in how you're going to choose your fantasy team? That's what I want to know. PGFhome.com is where you go to play free fantasy, win $1,000 potentially in cash and $1,000 in prizes, all courtesy of X Marshall. PGFhome.com, or you can hit that QR code on your screen. We're getting up to Mr. Full-Time Josh Gibbs on the mat, ready to go with his inside heel hook. Seems like he's having a little trouble deciding on the position he wants for his outside heel. Ooh, but he got a couple of nasty sounds out of the roll bot. So in the chat, this is an interesting comment. The roll bot made a huge impact, changed the bottom 4 of my lineup.
Wow.
Fantasy.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing I want to hear. Like, you know, we don't want to just put together a bunch of stuff that nobody actually cares about. But if you're watching this and it's giving you feedback on how you want to approach, so Fatality there. He's going to move into his triangle. Ooh. Oh, and you can see he's losing. He's losing that flat line. And he gets the gym.
Oh, we got the tap. We got the tap.
Gets the gym tap. So that's that first level of submission. Let's see what his arm triangle looks like now. Flatline.
Flatline.
He gets the hat trick. You got one of each.
It was the dummy beeper. Pause. Hold on a second. There's the camera.
Gonna readjust the camera here.
Okay, yeah, he keeps having a little bit of an issue with that gimbal on the camera, so Keelan's gonna work on it here for a second. In the meantime, take a chance to tell some people about a couple of these sponsors.
I mean, there's
What do you
plenty of
think?
sponsors that help
Let's
make
go down
PGF Season
this
5.
list.
You got GOAT, the GOAT strip, the #1 sublingual male enhancement strip in the world. That is the only true flash dissolve strip on the market. Intensify your experience. Turn the ordinary into the extraordinary, or extraordinary if you prefer that way of saying it. The GOAT has no unwanted side effects and a patented flash dissolve technology that is one of a kind and exclusive to the GOAT strip.
And they're giving away free ones.
Yeah.
On their website. I believe the code is PGF100.
All right, there you go.
I believe that's right. You guys give that a try.
I like to turn the ordinary into the extraordinary, I'm just saying.
I heard that about you.
Big fan.
I heard that about you.
X-Marshall, of course, the sponsors to our Fantasy League. Premium quality combat sports gear, rash guards, shorts, and streetwear, dripping in style and creativity. Something for every personality. Our rash guards incorporate moist wicking technology to repel sweat, as well as the anti-slip gel panel to prevent the rash guard from riding up.
It works.
Hey, Isaac, why don't you mute that map mic?
You want
hit me a
some
couple
more?
more until he's ready to go.
All right, the Daily Triangle. It's a proud sponsor of the PGF, launching early in 2024. TheDailyTriangle.com will serve as an event registration platform for Jiu-Jitsu seminars. Here they consolidate Jiu-Jitsu seminars from access across the United States in one user-friendly platform. Simply sign up and go train. Visit TheDailyTriangle.com today and look for the 2024 launch early next year.
All right, I think we're ready to roll back to the mats here. We got Anakin McMahan coming up, and he's going to go with this inside heel hook. Oh! Oh, nasty. That's like a full dislocation on the elbow.
Got the flat line. Hold on 1 second for your leg triangle. Give us a second. Hold on.
Hit those reads again, TJ.
All right, let's do it.
Get the rest of the way down that list.
Level Mushrooms. Level is a microdosing brand made with safe, high-end psychedelic medicines. Level products are all natural, vegan, gluten-free, and delicious. Level out and transform your mind. Of course, the robot, very instrumental to today's scouting combine. The robot is not a dummy. The highly sophisticated grappling robot has fully articulating joints and pressure sensors built in. The crowdfund is launching soon. Visit them at rollbotbjj.com. All right, let's go back to the mat. Flat line.
Got the flat line. Arm triangle up next.
And you can hear he got level 1 on that one. And let's see what he goes with next.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Oh, he's going straight ankle lock. First guy to choose the straight ankle. Oh! And listen, that straight ankle lock is the reason that he made his way into the PGF.
That was our last athlete.
Okay, so we work all the way through the athletes with the robot. They're going to come back and they're going to do a couple of just probably like 90 seconds with an uke. We just want to see them move around a little bit. See what they actually look like when they're doing their grappling.
This is for the coaches to sort of get a little information, judge what their wrestling technique is like, and just how they flow, correct?
That's right. That's right. So we're going to, let's actually go through these here, TJ.
All right, finishing mechanics are top 3. Maximus registered 3 fatalities and 1 flatline. Buddha came in with 2 fatalities and 2 flatlines, and Sam and Cam tied for 3rd with 2 flatlines, or 2 fatalities and 1 flatline. So.
Super interesting. The smallest athlete on the roster had the most fatalities.
That is interesting.
Yeah, it's not about how hard you squeeze the thing. It's squeezing it in the right way. It really does give you an opportunity to judge your own mechanics on your finishing.
It's technique over power.
Isn't that fascinating?
It's funny.
Fascinating.
Funny how that works.
I wonder. I want to get a couple of these managers over here, and I want to hear what they're thinking about. Is this making a difference to them with some of these athletes that they're not familiar with? So I know we're going to hit a quick commercial break here. TJ, you want to lead us into that?
Absolutely. Live from Decatur, Alabama, inside 10th Planet Decatur. This is the PGF Grappling Combine here live.
Did you know that the human foot has its own intelligence? Does it surprise you that your foot has thousands of neurons that can sense shape, texture, temperature, and even density? Did you know that most, if not all, your knee, hip, back, and even neck problems originate in the feet? Those questions may seem a strange thing to obsess over when making something as simple as flip-flops. But those questions are not strange when your goal is to make the most durable, high-quality flip-flops on planet Earth. Because at Toe Hold, we believe your foot can also feel quality. And that's why at Toehold, we make our flip-flops the old-fashioned way. By hand, from scratch, with a master craftsman using the best ingredients we can find. Durability is our guarantee, and style is our passion. Come try a pair of our luxury flip-flops on, and let us know what you think. Because at Toehold, we're positive you're gonna love it.
People are using psilocybin in what they call microdosing. And kickboxers are using it, and a good buddy of mine is using it, who says that he can see things happen before they happen. Like, it was almost like he's reading people's minds.
These things let you step out of your box a little bit. They let you step out of your usual reference frame. They let the background come forward. And you notice things about the environment that normally you would suppress.
I have done it many times, but I enjoy it a lot. It gives you a silly, carefree consciousness that is unperturbed, meaning that it doesn't affect my judgment, it doesn't affect my ability to have a conversation with someone. It just puts me in this very appreciative, thankful, low anxiety state.
Brought to you by the Goat Strip, the #1 sublingual male enhancement strip in the world and the only true flash dissolve strip on the market.
It's a goat.
PGF Season 5 finale is going down November the 4th, live on pay-per-view, or get your tickets to attend in person at pgfhome.com. Hey Jiu-Jitsu fans, don't just watch PGF Season 5, play the Fantasy League, only on Fantasizer. If you win first place, you could win $1,000. Download the Fantasizer app and get started today.
In nature, there is one primary way to satiate hunger, one way to survive, one way to grow, one way to thrive. There is one way to live. This is through the cleansing power of competition.
We're back here, Matt Side, inside 10th Planet Decatur for the PGF Scouting Combine. I'm TJ DeSantis. Please be joined now by one of the managers of our teams. She's the manager of team level, Nakia Jackson. You're champion on the PGF, Matt, trying to capture a team championship, and obviously this is an integral part of your draft strategy, getting information here. Kaya, first, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, no, this is exciting. You know, Brandon Mccaghren, he's trying to, bring this sporting element to the world of jiu-jitsu. The PGF tagline is everything you love about sports plus jiu-jitsu. It feels different. You know, all these athletes are sort of, trying to, show out in a way that they can, raise their stock, if you will, when it comes to the status. What are you looking at when you're watching them, compete today and showcase their skills in a variety of areas?
So I'm looking for the complete picture of the athlete. So how strong they are, what do they have to bring as far as explosive power, because that's going to be super important for the season, because it's not just one match a night. It's multiple matches. Can you endure this gauntlet?
Yeah.
Can you do this thing? I'm also looking for preference on like playing style. So using the robot is super important. So the last one, the athlete's choice, I was like, okay, this is important. I need to pay attention to this.
Yeah,
what do they prefer?
Yeah, because it obviously you're going to go to your strength, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, when you have that ability to showcase the submission of your choice, and it is interesting. I'm curious how some of those athletes probably didn't necessarily get the response they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't necessarily register a fatality in certain areas. If that's going to affect them, and now we're going to see them move around here a little bit as we just kind of get a feel of what their style is, what they can try to do in this sort of flow state type of grapple. Nothing too competitive here, right?
Right. Yeah, they're just feeding, and again, it comes down to athlete's choice. What do they prefer? Whether it's a break versus a choke. That matters as a coach, because I'm trying to rack up as many points as possible for the team. So
yeah, and that's the interesting thing about the PGF too, is it is a sport and it's a game, but it's a game that rewards efficiency. A kill is obviously worth more than a break, and for good reason.
Right.
So let's go back out to the mat now. We're going to see just a little bit of movement, a little rolling here. Nothing too fast and furious. Each athlete's going to have about 60 seconds to just kind of get loose. And now, obviously, everything else prior to this, Kaya, was, measuring, certain things, whether it be grip strength or explosive movement. Now we're just looking at these guys roll a little bit. Like, what are you looking for here? Is it just to see how they move and see how they flow?
Yeah, I think it's fluidity and movement is super important. Again, what do they prefer? Like right now, he's preferring to go straight to like heel hooks and stuff. So he bases his game off of like breaks. Again, how fluid he is in his movements. That's super important to me.
I'm curious, as a manager, when you assemble your team, you have short time to necessarily build that team chemistry, but are you going to try to do anything to get the guys together and create that team dynamic?
I hadn't really thought about it. Of course, before every game day, before every game night, I wanted to get together and give this big grand speech. Just let them know no pressure, but go out there and do your thing, have fun, things that I usually receive, and hopefully that brings everybody together.
I mean, it is a marathon. You're going to have, multiple days here before we, head into the finale and whatnot. But it is kind of a sprint in the grand scheme of things when it comes to sort of creating that team chemistry. And, I think you want to have like-minded personalities to yourself a little bit as part of your team.
I think it's interesting to have different personalities in there. I think it makes the game a little bit more interesting. It makes the team a little bit more dynamic. So I'd like to have some different personalities and see how well we could bring it together.
Now, what's it going to be like you on game night when you're sort of sitting on the sidelines? Like, you can't get out there and take things into your own hands.
I've been practicing my coaching on the sidelines for the 6 a.m. class. So I'm just going to keep it cool, calm, and collected and try to encourage everybody to go out there and do their thing. I don't want to be, the overhyped coach and stuff like that. So I'm just going to keep it cool, calm, and try my best to steer these guys the right way.
Are you a loud corner? Do you scream a lot?
No, I try not to because I personally don't like to scream. Look, I don't like to be screamed at.
Right. Yeah. You treat others like you want to be treated, right?
Yeah. Right.
There you
But
go.
if people need that, I can be that. So I'll try to be flexible. Depending, again, that goes back to like player chemistry and stuff. So I have to like go in and see what kind of coaching they prefer.
Right. Sure.
And I'll break and bend according to that.
All right, we will continue here as the athletes are taking the mat here. This is our final activity for our scouting combine. Again, TJ DeSantis, pleased to be joined by Kaya Jackson. Mat side here, and she's leaving. All right, Jackson's coming in. All right, now joining me, Jackson Spry, manager of Team Toehold Blue. We got 2 team toeholds. You're on the blue side.
Yeah.
You like the color blue?
That's fine with me.
There we go. Entering the final activity here for our scouting combine. What have you been looking at today as far as things that you really want? Attributes in your athletes on your team.
I'm looking for. I'm definitely looking for guys that can get good braking mechanics on breaks, not just kills. I mean, kills are super important.
Right.
But with a field this deep, I'm looking for guys that can throw some Hail Marys late in the game.
Sure. So of all the activities we saw today, do you feel like the most information that you've gained was from the robot activities?
Yeah, for sure.
What do you think about this PGF format? It is different. I think for the longest time in combat sports, there has been this desire and need for a real team-based format, and we get that with PGF, but it's unlike really anything else we've seen before. I mean, we're at a scouting combine. This doesn't happen in fight sports.
Dude, I absolutely love it. One thing that's really cool is when I first got into jiu-jitsu, like my first couple months is right when Brandon started the PGF, and that's really the thing that like sparked my interest, that got me into grappling. Because before that I didn't watch any grappling, and like I'd train a little bit, but I wasn't super into it. And now, like since the PGF took over, I love it. I'm watching all the events, which I like watching other grappling events, but you can't beat the Shark Week of Jiu-Jitsu in my opinion. Keelan's camera work, it's great.
Did you just call it the Shark Week of Jiu-Jitsu?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I like that.
Absolutely.
I like that. Did you come up with that?
No.
Take credit for it. An interview take credit.
Okay. Yeah,
That's awesome. That's a great idea by you, Jackson.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff. And that is one thing, too, that I think is important as we look at this sport and the way it's presented. Like, you need high-end production. You need something that the average casual sports fan can get into. Obviously, if you're a fan of the sport, you're going to be there no matter what. But it's things that capture the casual fan's attention that takes us from a grassroots sport to the next level.
Right, yeah. Yeah, even when I'm at work and stuff, I'll hear my coworkers always talking about fantasy football.
Right,
and,
yeah.
The punishment for the loser of the league this year. And it keeps them watching football when I know they're really not even that interested, most of them. So jiu-jitsu having something like that, I love it.
I mean, you mentioned the fantasy aspect of things. That has really made the NFL go from a casual or from a hardcore sort of sports audience to, I mean, people that don't even really watch full games get involved with fantasy, and you can get involved with our fantasy league. QR code on the screen right now is presented by X Marshall, and I'm not going to lie, I'm drafting a team later today. I got to get involved, I never even thought about that. You can take little side bets with your friends. My team's going to be better than yours. I mean, you actually have a real team.
Yeah, because I played the fantasy league every year before, and I had a ton of fun with it. And now this is like, my fantasy is getting to do it.
Yeah.
And me and Kaya have a side bet.
You want to tell us about it?
We've got loser has to do a Shark Tank.
Okay.
So
all right. I don't know. Speak English.
Shark Tank in jiu-jitsu is like, however long the rounds are, you don't get a break in between. You get a fresh person every time somebody leaves.
Sounds miserable.
Oh, absolutely. I feel bad for it, really.
I mean, in my world, we'd go for like dinner, or like you buy me dinner.
Oh yeah.
Ice cream.
For sure.
You guys like make it.
No, I gotta make her miserable.
I guess.
Not worth it,
All right, I suppose that's true. All right, we continue here on the mat here again. Just a minute free rolling for all the athletes to kind of showcase everything. Of course, it all leads up to our tournament and season finale. PGF playoffs coming your way Saturday, November 4th. You can buy the pay-per-view on the website pgfhome.com. TJ DeSantis, along with Jackson's Prize, we are looking at the action here, what are you most excited about with the regular season coming up? How important is it going to be to sort of dominate that first day? Do you think momentum is going to be something that carries the teams through?
I do think it's important, but we've seen people kind of have late starts and do really well in the past too, like Matt Elkins in season 1. So I don't want to put too many chips in day one, but it'll definitely play a big factor.
Yeah, absolutely. How important is it to have guys on your team that have PGF experience, do you think?
Like drafting people that have done it
yeah,
before?
Yeah.
That's definitely pretty important because if you've never done – all right.
You can finish your thought.
Okay, yeah, if you've never done like that many matches in that short a time, but it helps build the story and everything too, so I absolutely love it.
Awesome. Jackson, appreciate your time. You'll be managing Toe Hold Team Blue, and we wish you the best of success.
Absolutely, man. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Another manager headed into the booth here. Zoltan from Team Epic Roll. How are you, sir?
How are you?
Very good. I'm TJ. Nice to meet you.
Zoltan. Nice to meet you, brother.
Let's talk a little bit about what's going on today. Epic Roll's involvement, like PGF,
Yes.
something you're sold on.
Yeah, happy cool, man. Here. We always where things are happening.
Yeah.
Things are happening here right now.
It's pretty rad. That's one thing. Obviously, you're in a band. There's a lot of creativity and artistry that comes in that side of things. But when it comes to jiu-jitsu, of all the combat sports, I think there's a level of creativity that is expressed there with athletes that aren't necessarily like on display as much. There's not as much of a lifestyle that you can subscribe to, I think, sometimes in other combat sports like you can in jiu-jitsu.
Oh, no, I think it's 100%. It's about intelligence. It's about creativity. I think grappling is the intelligent man's, intelligent people's, sport.
Yeah.
Or martial arts, so to speak, because obviously conditioning, strength, and experience matters, but it's really about thinking outside of the box. Lexical knowledge is just knowledge. How do you use that knowledge matters, right? So basically how you put together these submissions, how you move, how you use what you know, and you obviously have to read your opponent and you have to understand what he's doing. So this is really a chess game.
Yeah.
Right? So this is a chess player's, martial art. So yeah, so absolutely creativity and intelligence is definitely the dominant force in grappling.
What first got you involved in jiu-jitsu, and like what tipped
Oh,
your
man.
curiosity over from something you were kind of into to something, okay, I gotta live this lifestyle myself?
All right, so I started judo when I was 9 years old.
Okay.
So this is decades of judo. And when I came to America, obviously we didn't have judo was an Olympic sport, so it was available to us, and every corner had a judo academy in my country. However, jiu-jitsu was just a legend.
Right.
We all knew about, but couldn't really access it. And once I was in America, I'm like, oh yeah, man, I'm in. So I converted from judo, and judo is another thing when it's hard on your body. After a while, it's like, man, when you're a kid and being slammed around, it's okay, but when you're getting older and like 200 and something pounds, then it's not fun. I mean, actually it's fun, but you feel it. You're not recovering that fast. So anyway, I converted to jiu-jitsu because it's something that I can do for the rest of my life, pretty much. And obviously I still have the judo background, so that so it's obviously.
You're saying you can throw someone on their head if you need to.
Yeah. Like it's rare that people usually pull guard with me, but it's hard. But now it's rare that once your name is out there, once you're marked, they know in competitions, they just sit down. But it's all right.
Yeah. Are you able to train when you're on tour?
Oh yeah. Like I roll with like 2-3 black belts all the time. So my security guys are all black belts. So we carry our mats. We have this backstage dojo. You know? And everywhere we go, it's either we go to a local academy or we roll out our own mats. And then again, my security guy, I have another black belt with me. Usually select 2, 3, 4 us, and the local guys come out. So sometimes we have like 10, 15 black belts backstage, rolling.
Wow,
like,
that's awesome.
Half an hour before the show we stay.
Like last minute grappling events,
Yeah.
right before you go on stage.
Yeah.
That's rad. Tell me about Epic Roll, because I mean it's one thing to like train and to like tell people about jiu-jitsu, but to actually invest your time and money into a jiu-jitsu brand, like that takes commitment.
Yeah, of course, yeah, but it's part of the it's part of the whole thing. It's obviously. It's a business, but in the same time, it came from passion. It came from passion for jiu-jitsu itself. How it really happened, I kept seeing this brand around. So I have a pretty huge network. I travel the world, so I know a lot of people in jiu-jitsu and in grappling in general. And I kept seeing this epic roll brand. I'm like, what the hell is who the hell is this?
Yeah.
And it turns out that Matt Wallstrom, who started the company, and I had this massive overlapping group of friends. And everywhere I would go, I would run into somebody who's wearing epic roll. And then eventually I ran into him. We were training a little bit, rolling around, and he kept coming out to shows, and then we became really good friends. And I'm like, hey man, I'll jump in with you. I'm interested in this, and obviously I have the ability to help, in various ways. And then we just joined up, and my girl, who's Carlos Gracie's granddaughter, she got involved. She has obviously a massive network. Everybody. The Gracie family is her family,
right?
And so the three of us now run the company, and it's doing great. And we show up, man. We show up to the events. We show up to all the competition. I still compete too, so So and this was today. This is it, man. This is what's happening. So we're here.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty cool. Like, are you a traditional sports fan at all?
Yeah. You can say that.
Like, what do you watch for sports?
Well, I used to watch football, American football. For a while, I didn't understand it, because I'm like, what the hell are you guys doing, and why is it always stopping? So, I'm a European, so we would watch real football, which you guys call soccer. I don't know why.
I love soccer. Actually, I'll tell you, soccer's a British word, believe it or not.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and for whatever reason, we adopted, probably because we already have what we call football. But
well, let me say, like, all words are British.
That's true. That's true. That is very true.
Just had to stick it in there. It's done. Yeah. But well, look, I watched that when and if you can call it sport, I watched Formula One since I was a kid. That was a big deal in Europe, obviously, and then martial arts.
Yeah, I just think it's neat to have a sport like jiu-jitsu be treated that like of a sport, a traditional sport.
Well, okay, so there's a line there. I'm also training combatives, army combatives, and this is basically jiu-jitsu with weapons and edged weapons. Yeah. So you cannot forget that it is a martial art.
Right, and well, that's one thing I think is important about the PGF is it still rewards effective jiu-jitsu over again just a break, a joint lock is not going to net you as many points as a kill and a choke submission, and if you don't get a win at all, it nets your team nothing.
Well, it's a martial arts. We just play nice.
Right.
That's what it is. But I look at certain techniques, and obviously I train and compete, and in competition there are the competition rules that dictate the behavior. And if I have a personal problem, my personal problem is that I don't care about the points. I lose a lot of fights because I don't care about the points, right? But that's just a personal, perspective. I would say everybody here is capable of serious combat.
Oh, 100%.
But we play nice.
No, right, exactly.
That's what it is. And that camaraderie is what really matters to me in jiu-jitsu, that everybody I ever fought, I'm friends with.
Right.
Right? And then look, these guys are going to fight today. And they're all friends.
Yeah.
There's no other place than grappling and jiu-jitsu where this camaraderie happening. Like, okay, for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, whatever is the bat, we're going to suspend our friendship.
Right.
I'm going to take your head off. And after that, we're going to go ahead and have food.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
That is amazing to me.
Yeah.
Right? That's real. That's what real sportsmen do.
Yeah, no, 100%. Going back to the points nature, I like the fact that points here are dictated by the win. You're not trying to argue for points to try to get a victory based on points. And I'm with you because at the end of the day, it's a sport and it's a game, but it's still measured by my opinion as how effective can you utilize that in a real life situation.
Correct. It has to be real.
Yeah.
So this I like the idea that it is going for submission.
Yeah.
Right. I like the idea that you can't score. We all know there are some rules. When I come on, man, you got a point for what?
Yeah.
What does what is that really?
Yeah. No, absolutely, and especially in some formats, your aggression to actually finish the match can hurt you. And you get too aggressive. And it's like, oh, I lost my guard, and you ended up passing, and somehow you won the whole match because I tried to do something.
Correct. I do this all the time.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Exactly that.
Exactly. So, what do you want to see here this week with PGF? Like, obviously, you want the Epic Rule team to maybe win, but
yes, of course. But what's more important to me is really that brotherhood, that camaraderie. Like we are here and we all love this sport of martial arts. We all are warriors in some way. You know what I mean? There's just a spiritual idea behind it as well.
Yeah.
We are the last walking lions on this planet. And that camaraderie, making friends and talk about life, talk about the philosophy of martial arts. You're not a martial artist if you don't understand the philosophy. Then you're just a brawler.
Right.
Right. And that's a huge difference for me. Right. And then if you start to talk to these guys, you start to realize these are warriors.
Yeah.
There's much more up there. It's not just technique. It's not just, I learned this, so I'm using it.
TheDailyTriangle.com.
Way more
They're
to this.
sponsoring me this season. Check them out. They manage like seminars. Like you're teaching a seminar, or you want to like find seminars, like you can just pay online, and then they help just kind of manage the money between the gym and the person who's teaching the seminar. So it's a really cool website. Go check that out.
Right.
That's great.
So just look at that. So he's in the middle of the match, and you stop him, and he's completely coherent.
Yeah, no, exactly.
See what I mean?
I've never had that experience happen in my life before. Just someone hijacked the broadcast.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty great.
It's funny.
Zoltan, I appreciate your time, sir.
Absolutely, my brother.
Thank you very much.
Thank
you can
you.
check out his company, Epic Roll, and of course, they're one of the teams here at PGF Season 5.
All right.
Thanks.
All right. That was pretty funny in the middle of the and now, imagine that
Confidence to do that.
The dulcet tones of Brandon McCathron.
I'm back, baby.
Back in the booth. Wrapping up here this combine. Man, I mean, I don't want to say it's been a gigantic success, but it's kind of been a gigantic success so far. We haven't even got to the season day one yet, but I've learned some things about the competitors, chatting with Zoltan, chatting with Kaya Jackson. I've had a lot of interesting experiences in combat sports. This has been unlike any other for a lot of positives, I will say.
Oh, that's awesome to hear, man. I really think that this is going to be, and I was talking to some of the coaches and managers off to the sidelines here, and they've all feel like they've gotten a different perspective on a lot of these athletes based on what they saw here today. So that's been super interesting. I'm sure we've seen that from people in the chat as well, and I'm thinking that it's going to make a difference in a lot of the fantasy picks and even in the draft tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, again, it's a different look. It's a different take on a combat sport that, I mean, let's be honest. If you're watching this right now, you love Jiu-Jitsu. Again, no one that doesn't love
only
Jiu-Jitsu.
Only dorks in the chat right now.
But my point is a format like this is what gets the, say, MMA fan who is aware of Jiu-Jitsu, but maybe isn't necessarily someone who would go out of their way to watch a Jiu-Jitsu show. This type of format, and one that can allow them to actually be involved with, the fantasy angle at home, it's kind of what takes the sport to a different level.
Yeah, it's an opportunity for us to do something that nobody else does. The big objective with the PGF is we want to have an actual sport and sports league with it. And this just adds another element to that helps it sort of step up and feel more like quote-unquote real sports.
Yeah, and I think what's cool about it, too, is the athletes, they don't have to all be a part of a team coming into this. They're going to be put on a different team.
That's right.
And, that is something, you have free agents in regular sports. I mean, everybody right now, they're free agents.
That's right, and they're trying to impress these managers. They're trying to impress these fantasy players. Travis goes with the big drop as his first play.
If you were managing, what would you have been looking for today if you were going to draft a team?
I want to see those braking mechanics on those heel hooks.
Yeah?
Yep, especially the inside heel hook. I mean, the inside heel hook, I think we learned quite a bit about which athletes were strong with that position and which athletes were not.
That more so, do you think, is important than some of the choking mechanics we saw?
I think we got a lot of feedback off of the choking mechanics. That's going to be very important. But, yeah, I think so.
One thing we're talking a lot about the managers sort of scouting and figuring out, whose stock is rising and where they want to spend their money. But I just thought about this for the first time. The competitors probably sizing up each other a little bit when they see, oh, okay, if I'm in a rear naked choke position, this guy only got a flat line. He didn't get a fatality. If I know that this guy got a fatality with rear naked choke position, the last thing I want to do is give them my back, right?
Yeah.
So there's some information, gathering for the athletes themselves that might find themselves on the mat with these guys.
And I'll tell you, man, all these athletes have been watching this action very closely. Elijah Carlton, the front runner coming into the season, PGF Season 1 champion, regular season and Season 2, he went undefeated until the final. He only lost to Hunter Colvin, who won the whole thing.
Right.
Season 3, he went undefeated through the regular season. He's done it across 3 different weight classes. And so he's got more information about the PGF and how it works than anybody here. He's the front runner, and he's sitting over there watching every moment of this combine like a hawk, just studying the movement, especially this part here with the grappling awareness, just studying yeah, you can see him right there.
How important is that experience factor, you think, when considering whether or not you want him on your team?
Oh, it's huge. Elijah's 43-0-2 in the PGF regular season.
Yeah, that's a record. That's a huge.
Yeah, he's like
record.
our Hoist Gracie, basically.
Yeah. Wow.
And
give me that number again.
43-0-2 draws.
Wow. Wow.
In the regular season of the PGF.
I mean, if anybody beats him in this season, they're going to be able to celebrate in a way unlike anybody else has.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's got the most experience in the rule set, which is a huge factor because there are no points scored. It's just 6 minutes.
Right.
This is a really important part. This is what pushes.
So the PGF is just like any sports league. We
are the same result. They're both 0.
That's true.
So it incentivizes you to push because if you
even if you lose, it's the same as a draw.
It's the same as if you got a draw.
It's only different if you win.
That's right. And then it depends on how you win.
Right.
So you're judged on how you win here. 6 minutes, it's all push the entire time. If you finish in under a minute, you get an extra point.
Right.
Any sub. So there's opportunity to score 6, but there's opportunity to score 7 as well. It's going to make a huge difference.
Absolutely.
And then the team that wins, there's 3 blocks each night on the schedule. The team that wins each block, everybody on that team gets an extra point towards the playoff as well.
Okay.
Awesome. So the team points, the team win matters as well.
Right. Yeah, it's not just an individual performance. It's
that's right.
Got to get your team
through.
The
team performance really matters.
All right. Well, I think are we done with our? No, we're still rolling out there a little bit, maybe, right?
Yeah, they're still going just a little bit. Looks like. Oh no, it's Kevin out there. They're just playing around.
Just playing.
Now. That's him and Steven. Bobby, both of them already got back out on the mat.
Oh dang.
So yeah, I think we're about ready to wrap this thing up. TJ, let's talk about a couple of these sponsors real quick. Hit a couple of these reads and let's dip out of here.
Sure, absolutely. Let's talk about Toehold. Toehold takes pride in combining handmade, labor-intensive, ancient techniques combined with state-of-the-art equipment to achieve an unparalleled line of products. The amount of time dedicated to each product and our attention to detail is what sets us apart. Our staff includes skilled craftsmen who have dedicated their careers to the art of creating beautiful handmade leather products, and they also have dedicated their time and money into 2 teams.
That's right, 2
on
teams,
PGF.
And the athletes that hit a toehold during the regular season, he's hooking them up with a $500 gift card.
Dang. What do I get if I toehold you? I can't, but what if I did?
You'll get the opportunity to wake up.
Leave that at that.
That's
we'll leave that
bro.
at that. Let's be honest. I'd be in trouble.
Yeah.
BJJ 365. If you're a fan of Brandon Mccaghren, this guy right here, you need to check out BJJ 365. It's everything you need to level up your jiu-jitsu. A one-stop shop for seminars, live training, full classes, instructionals, the mount, the triangle, leg locks, headlocks, and so much more to level up your game. Visit bjj365.club today. And FaZe International. FaZe International's mission is to provide customers with the highest quality, healthiest and purest water possible. It's the official water of the PGF and is dedicated to environmentally sustainable products and practices with added electrolytes, fulvic minerals you can count on, and a refreshing and functional hydration experience each and every time. They've helped me through the broadcast.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right.
And 6 p.m. tonight is when all of this information will be put to use. We get the draft going on. Anything else I need to know? It's all at pgfhome.com, right?
pgfhome.com. It's all free, live here on this YouTube channel all week long. The finale on Saturday, we're going at 4 p.m., and that finale is a pay-per-view. You can go to pgfhome.com for information on the pay-per-view, for information on the fantasy, for stats on the athletes. Everything you need about the PGF pgfhome.com. Follow us on Instagram at pgfhome. Follow me on Instagram at brandonmc.ninja. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel.
Yes, and we'll see you tonight for the PGF Season 5 draft for BMAC. I'm TJ DeSantis. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later today.
Smoke.
Did you know that the human foot has its own intelligence? Does it surprise you that your foot has thousands of neurons that can sense shape, texture, temperature, and even density? Did you know that most, if not all, your knee, hip, back, and even neck problems originate in the feet? Those questions may seem a strange thing to obsess over when making something as simple as flip-flops. But those questions are not strange when your goal is to make the most durable, high-quality flip-flops on planet Earth. Because at Toehold, we believe your foot can also feel quality. And that's why at Toehold, we make our flip-flops the old-fashioned way. By hand, from scratch, with a master craftsman using the best ingredients we can find. Durability is our guarantee, and style is our passion. Come try a pair of our luxury flip-flops on, and let us know what you think. Because at Toehold, we're positive you're gonna love it.
People are using psilocybin in what they call microdosing. And kickboxers are using it, and a good buddy of mine is using it, who says that he can see things happen before they happen. Like, it's almost like he's reading people's minds.
These things let you step out of your box a little bit. They let you step out of your usual reference frame. They let the background come forward. And you notice things about the environment that normally you would suppress.
I have done it many times, but I enjoy it a lot. It gives you a silly, carefree consciousness that is unperturbed, meaning that it doesn't affect my judgment, it doesn't affect my ability to have a conversation with someone. It just puts me in this very appreciative, thankful, low anxiety state.
Brought to you by the Goat Strip, the #1 sublingual male enhancement strip in the world and the only true flash dissolve strip on the market.
PGF Season 5 finale is going down November the 4th. Live on pay-per-view, or get your tickets to attend in person at pgfhome.com.
Why we believe the cells coming from the umbilical cord are optimal to use, and why for 8 years it's what we stick with, it's what we stay with. And the first thing is, when you're using embryonic cells, you're killing a life to get those cells, right? And so you're ending something that is going to be a human being. It's not something we could ever be part of. The science world, it doesn't, many people just stay stuck. In the medical world, it's like hairstyles, right? People keep the same hairstyle that they had when they met their spouse, and 30 years later, they still got that 80s hairstyle or the 90s hairstyle. And not realizing that there's maybe better out there. And so in the medical world, people don't understand that is where a lot of docs get stuck, or scientists get stuck. We now know today that the most effective cell that produces the most amount of change, that makes the most of themselves the fastest, is the cell that come from the umbilical cord after the baby's been born.
Hey Jiu-Jitsu fans, don't just watch PGF Season 5, play the Fantasy League, only on Fantasizer. If you win first place, you could win $1,000. Download the Fantasizer app and get started today. Huge news! I've partnered with the Vulcan Fight League, or the VFL. It's a crypto-based strategy MMA fighting game. These guys are tied in with some pretty big events and even with some pretty big names in the fight world. Mighty Mouse, Ryan Hall, Brandon McMahan. Right now I'm working really closely with the development team. We're building my character. So you're gonna be able to take your custom character, bring him over to Brandon, teach him jiu-jitsu, and then go beat everybody up. Now listen, the coolest part about this game is that it's play to earn. You can win actual money and crypto rewards for playing the game. There's a lot of progress to follow as we get close to releasing this thing. You need to go on Twitter, follow Vulcan Forged. You need to go over and check out their gaming platform, and you need to make sure that you join their Discord group. I gotta be honest with you guys, I'm really excited about this. Not just because I get to be in a video game, which is cool, but I get to be in a fighting video game, and I get to be involved in this new coming world of crypto gaming, which I think is gonna end up being a pretty big deal. So I'm interested to hear what you guys think. Why did I create the PGF? Because I wanted to turn jiu-jitsu into a real sport.
And we're live with PGF Season 5, presented by Ghost.
So it's starting to get quiet. You can really sense that competition air is like really starting to build.
The PGF has everything that you would expect out of any sports league. Athletic combine, draft, regular season, postseason playoff, we have a fantasy league.
Man, there's a lot to be excited for this season. The PGF gets better every season.
And he gets stabbed! Oh, Gibbs is the winner with a Darce choke!
I'm feeling every different way that there is to feel. I think that we'll look back on this 20 years from now and be like, that's where professional jiu-jitsu started.
What else is there to say? 4 straight days of just nothing but badass grapplers.
The PGF is everything you love about sports, plus jiu-jitsu.